What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Doc Holiday. We're back with another HBCU OverDrive live post-game show. You haven't done it by now. Make sure that you like the stream, comment, share, and most of all, subscribe. Become a member of the hottest HBCU podcast that is out there right now. I think I got Mr. Ford trying to come into the on the stream. Go ahead, put your microphone on, Mr. Ford, if you can. All right. How you doing, Mr. Ford?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Good. Hey, I ain't trying to sound somber. It is a celebration still because of the simple fact of what these boys have went through this whole season. And they are SWAC champs. They are 12-0. We are 12-0 for the first time in school history.
Right.
And we got one more game left.
Oh, yeah. And you should be favored in that one.
Oh, yeah, we should be favored in that one.
Yeah, you should be favored in that one.
And I won't speak too much on that one just yet, but I want to get into I want to go ahead and get into basically what's today. You know, like I said, it's the post-game show. I'm getting all my little PowerPoints and stuff going on. But it's the post-game show, so, man, we still have a football game to talk about, but we're going to get into all the other stuff later on. But in the meantime, there was a football game that was played today. Now, I know it rained earlier. I know it rained earlier down there today, so weather conditions, field conditions was still, it was still iffy, but it did not take away from the game day atmosphere that we playing in a championship game.
Right.
We are playing in a championship game, and everybody should be, I'm not saying up in arms, but everybody should be happy about the fact that we are playing in a championship game. And that we was favored in the championship game too.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm.
So what was some things that you saw from this game that you can take away and you think they can it could translate into the Celebration Bowl for in the next 2 weeks?
The dominance, Jackson just got so many players, so many playmakers, but the thing that's so obvious is Jackson is organized and they're disciplined. And I hate to say this because I love, like I said, we talking about Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Southern is pitiful. I don't know what's going to happen down there. Now, I see. When I was a student at Grambling, they had. I remember Dr. Spikes, Dolores Spikes. I remember Marino Castle when he left Alcorn and went down there.
Yeah.
And what I'm trying to get at is this. If those people were still alive and working at Southern, Southern's problems would be eliminated.
Right.
Because what I saw tonight is, first of all, let me just say this. Somebody got to be called on the carpet for the fact that they have had that Glendon McDaniels boy on the bench the whole season. Somebody need to be called on the carpet about that. That's ridiculous. Okay.
He balled today.
Listen, that was a period. He was carrying them. He was carrying the team on his back. Okay. Now, the other thing is this. Southern has playmakers and explosive players, but they don't have a good team. And then the thing that really got me tonight, as I was looking at Southern, I said, now, if Southern is the SWAC West champion, the SWAC is weak. That means that all of the good teams are in the East. Because SWAC, like I said, now, they got players at Southern, but they're unorganized, they're undisciplined. I've seen high school coaches do a better job of coaching and organizing their teams than what I've seen tonight. It's just ridiculous. Now, the person that's got, I've said this before. Roman Banks is the person that's got to straighten it out. Listen, Coach Dooley can't do it. See, Coach Dooley has the mentality of an offense coordinator. He can't make head coaching decisions. He can't do it. I've watched him. But see, this is what y'all got to understand. He was 20-17 in his years at Prairie View. That's not going to work down there on the Bluff. That's not going to work. And to me, I think some of them coaches, they got to be given their walking papers Monday. They got to go. They got to go.
In that sense, when it comes down to Southern, like, you kind of do have to clean house because of the simple fact that, and I'm gonna say it just like this, Mr. Ford. When Southern played Texas Southern here in Dallas, for the football showdown, I did not see not one type of passion or any type of excitement toward on a bench. And then I didn't. When it came down to it, after Bashawn McCray threw his third interception in that game, you have to stop being stubborn and put in Bubba McDaniel. If you want to be that spark plug, because I'm gonna read off what he did tonight: 15 of 34, 220 yards passing. He had 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. He also ran the ball 20 times and had 162 yards. He also had 2 touchdowns on the ground. What does that say about Bubba McDaniel? The man had almost 400 yards of total offense by himself.
Listen, it goes back to what I said. Somebody got to be called on the carpet. Now, here's the thing I got to ask you. Does he have another year of eligibility?
Bubba is a senior, but he might have another year because of the COVID year.
That's good. Because listen, I think that quarterback issue now has been settled. Now, if they come back next year and got Bubba on the bench, that's a problem.
That is a problem.
That's a problem. Because the problem right now is somebody needs to be made, either Jonathan Williams as a quarterback coach or Coach Dooley. Somebody got to tell the AD or tell the Jaguar Nation, why this boy been sitting down? Because with some games he didn't even play.
But I think it's a lot of people from Jaguar Nation, even my guys that do Swagging the Food, they podcast with Jay Max. He even said, "Why do you sit down Bubba McDaniel when Tom McCray is playing terribly, or he's not being able to move the ball or move the offense down the field? Like you said, somebody's going to come up to the car. You got to put feet to the fire, to see what's going on, because now next season, you're the SWAC West champs. There's a lot of schools that's going to be out there that's going to be gunning for you. The first one to name is going to be Prairie View.
That's right.
The second one to name is going to be Texas Southern. And if, like you said, if Hugh Jackson can get his stuff together down in Grambling, you got to watch out for Grambling also.
Yeah. Now,
I can't forget about Alcorn either. I can't forget about Big Fred.
Fred's gonna have it. See, Fred's problem is they don't have the buy-in from the president. That's their biggest problem. See, I keep telling people winning and tradition and all that stuff starts in the president's office. Now, I don't know if you've heard it. Now, they're going to sign the contract for Colorado tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to be beamed live or streamed, but it's already been announced. The Colorado Board they're going to, I think it's going to be at 10 or 11 Colorado time. And they're going to sign the contract tomorrow at the board. It's an emergency board of regents meeting, and I think it's 10 or 11 o'clock.
Go ahead, Mr. Ford. What'd you say?
Now, I talked to some Jackson State people. Now, this is what they're saying. Now, I don't know if this is true. They say that Ashley already got the person that they said they should name him when they come to the Celebration Bowl. They're going to know who the new coach is at Jackson. They say he already got him. Can you hear me?
Ashley already got somebody here.
Yeah, they saying
Head
that
coach.
Ashley already got somebody. They are, because now what they're saying is that this wasn't done in secrecy. They knew about the offer. They knew that some people were coming after him. It wasn't like, they didn't know. They knew it.
So we're gonna stay. Let's stay on we're gonna stay on with the game. Let's see.
Okay.
Shadur we're gonna have Shadur. He had over 300 yards passing. He had 4 TDs, and the best thing he did, he had no interceptions. So he was careful with the ball. He did take a lot of sacks in the game. So I seen that. He did take a lot of sacks in the game, but it was the fact that he did not turn that ball over. That's the main thing that we wanted him to make sure that he didn't do. Of course, we controlled the tempo as far as with the running game, mixing in running pass, but and all the receivers. I mean, you're looking at Shane Hooks was the leading receiver because he was your possession receiver. He almost had 100 yards tonight, and he had 2 touchdowns. So, and another thing about him is he didn't fumble the ball either. So you have these guys out there that's that is balling. You got to block. They blocked the punt. They did block a punt in the game. Alejandro Amata was basically perfect for kicking. So, and the best thing about it is with the defense, we made them turn the ball over 3 times, 3 interceptions. I think they forced the fumble off of Bubba McDaniel in the game. JT Reagan came in and recovered the fumble. So defense did the defense did their job.
They had 5 turnovers, right?
I think they did have 5 turnovers in the game.
But the thing that got me with Southern had a bunch of penalties. See, when I was coaching, we always said your team got a bunch of penalties. That's bad coaching. They had a bunch of. I don't know. Do you see how many penalties they had?
Penalties. I didn't see how many penalties they had.
It's got to be double digits.
I know. I got it. Southern had 10 penalties for 95
about right.
yards.
Yeah.
And Jackson State had 9 of them for 75 yards.
Yeah. But 10 penalties and 5 turnovers. You can't win like that. You can't win. No. See, let me tell you this. Now I can't remember. Was Southern's record 7-4 or 7-5?
7-4 before today.
Okay. Now let me say this. They look like a 5-5 or a 5-6 or a 6-6 type team. They just don't. They don't have the look of a championship team.
That is correct.
and my thing is, if Southern is the champion of the West, the SWAC is weak.
I want to say the SWAC is weak. That side of the SWAC is weak.
Yeah, that side of the SWAC is weak. If Southern is the champion, because listen, what they do is they'll do one thing right, and then they'll come back and do 3 things wrong. That's the way they play. So, and to me, that's coaching. That's coaching. Because they got explosive players. They got playmakers. They got game changers. But it's not organized. You know who they showed tonight? Tiffany and them showed Pete Richardson. Now,
Pete Richardson,
yeah, they showed Pete tonight. He was helping broadcast the game back to Baton Rouge. But let me say this. Now, he was on Pete's staff, but he ain't Pete Richardson. And I'm going to go on listen. I mean, that's a given that he ain't Pete Richardson. I'm going to be honest right now. If I had to compare Dooley with Odoms, I think I'm going to take Odoms.
I'd rather take Odom back.
I think I'm going to take Odom now. And I'm a person who love pass-happy offenses, but it's just too many things ain't clicking right now. It's too many.
Man, I'm going to tell you just like this. You are right. I cannot call Dooley an offensive genius because you had your best quarterback riding the bench majority of the season.
Listen, like I said, if Dr. Belton is retired, I don't know anything about the new president, but I know that people are going to be calling Roman Banks at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning because that's Southern. Don't be surprised if some people get their walking papers Monday. I'm serious. Don't even be surprised. There's some people on that staff get their walking pay. Because see, this is a home. See, that staff right there, that's what you call nepotism. That's
Yeah,
nepotism. That's
yeah.
inbreeding. The SWAC is bigger than that now. Deion has exposed all of that inbreeding, nepotism. That's my frat. That's my cousin. I know his mama. That stuff don't work no more.
Mm-hmm.
It don't work no more. Mm-mm.
All right, we got Sir Retro, we got Retro, we got Brian in the chat on the
Okay.
screen. What's going on, everybody?
How you doing?
What's up, man? Y'all doing all right?
Yeah.
I'm
Hey,
good.
how's it going?
Hey,
I'm
Mr.
still
Ford.
Yes.
Yeah, I love when you get fired up, Mr. Ford. I love when you get fired up. Yeah, the thing is, the game today, was different. A couple different tales of the game.
Right.
Jackson State came out real firing. They played well, but the thing is, I don't understand. I'm not saying I'm an offensive guru. I'm the best Monday morning quarterback couch.
I am too. I am too.
The thing is, when you're up, why are you trying to hurry up offense? When you got 1,000-yard back running back in your arsenal, and you're passing and passing and passing. To me, it just seemed like, I hate to say it, and I hope I'm totally wrong. I hope I'm not malicious in what I'm saying. Is that they're just trying to get Shador's stats up, and you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's not time for that.
Oh yeah.
The play calling, certain play calling was atrocious.
Yeah.
Far as Jackson State, as far as I'm concerned, if Coach Deion, all the indications going to Colorado, we all know how we feel about that. You
Right.
know what? I'll never. Me and Doc would always been saying, and we continue to say, I don't count anybody's pockets, but
Right.
I'm a man. I'm 62 years old, and I've been a professional athlete, and coach. And the thing that I always said, when you talk to your players, you tell them the truth. They
Right.
might not like what you say at a time, but you tell them the truth. And what he said to his players, we don't know. We'll probably hear things that are coming out later on. But when I looked at Ashley Robinson today, and I have so much respect for this man because he's the one that gave Deion his chance,
Yeah.
his
Without a doubt.
opportunity when
Yeah.
nobody wanted to give Deion an opportunity.
Right.
Not Florida State, not Arkansas, not anybody, not on the college landscape wanted to give him his opportunity. He gave him his opportunity.
Right.
And you know what? It builds certain circumstances, and we're going to find out so much more after the fact what really entailed him to leave. Because you know what? When a coach is hired, they either get fired or they leave. That's just how it is. And
Right.
you know what? I appreciate what Deion has done for HBCU. I appreciate what
Right.
Deion has done
Right.
for JSU. But what I don't appreciate, when you say you get a call from God and you answer collect and you're ready to level the playing field, and then all of a sudden the narrative changes to, I want to get my coaches paid, which is fine. I'm all good with that.
Right.
But if he leaves, what is a man if his word is not his bond?
Right. Right. Well, let me say this. It's been trending real hot up here in Atlanta the last 2 days. People have called him a fraud. A lot of people here upset. I was very surprised that some of the fellow SWAC school graduates are very upset. They felt like it's hurt. But this is what I say about it. If he wants to leave, I think it's best that he leave. Okay.
Yep.
I don't like people, they're just holding on, but they actually want to leave. Now, I go on record, and I think you've heard me say this. I don't think he's going to be able to turn Colorado around. Secondly, I think they're going to give him less time than they gave Charlie Strong down in Texas. But, that's what he wants to do. Now, the word we're getting is that he's going to take double-digit players down with him to Colorado. Possibly Travis Hunter and some more of those players are going to go with him.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is this. The love, the magic, the winning is not going to transfer to Colorado. I talked to some people here in Atlanta who are they're black college undergraduates, but they got their masters and PhDs at Colorado, and all of them said the same thing. The administration in Colorado is not committed to football. Right now, they in a bad situation because if UCLA is allowed to leave with USC, they're saying that the Pac-10 or the Pac-12 is in big trouble. It's in big trouble that it could possibly fold. So it's some issues up there right now. And the whole thing about them giving him $6 or $7 million, that's nothing for, the Power 5 schools. They got money, they got old money. That's slave money. So that's no issue. But my thing is, if he wants to go, then I'm happy for him. I enjoyed him while he was here. I like what he did for the HBCU. But my thing is this. I don't think, we're in a golden era right now. We haven't been this hot to me since the 70s. And
how about the early 90s when we had those other teams like with Pete Richardson when he was on their squad?
Yeah. Now Pete's teams, but see, here's the thing: we didn't get the airtime that we're getting now. Okay,
yeah,
we were not trending. With like because let me tell you, on social media, Jackson is right in there with Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, those schools. They right there. You got little kids walking around Atlanta. They know who Shadua is. They know who Aubrey Miller is. They know, they just know because they on that social media stuff. They know all about Jackson's team. And we're talking about almost 400 miles away. Okay? Yeah. So if he wants to leave, I don't begrudge it. I personally, people ask me what you think he's going to do. I don't think he's going to be able to do nothing, not at Colorado. Now, my thing was if he had stayed until Shadua graduated, I believe he would have got the SEC offer that he wanted because that's what he wants. He wants an SEC offer. But like I told you the other night, I think he jumped the gun. Okay?
Yes, I agree. I totally agree.
I think he jumped the gun because that program right there, Colorado, and I hate to say this again, I know people get mad when I say this. Very few blacks in Colorado. They got to depend on California and Texas to get their ball players. Now, here's the other thing. A lot of them black kids, you can take them up there, but a lot of them are not going to adjust to that altitude, and they're not going to adjust to that weather. So they're going to have to come back home. You leaving the sunny South to go into the mountains? Ooh. Okay.
I got a question for you guys.
Okay.
If he announces tomorrow, is he supposed to have an announcement tomorrow?
Yeah, they're going to sign I was just telling my man, they're going to sign the contract tomorrow at 10 or 11.
Now, if you're JSU, do you let him coach the Celebration Bowl?
That's up to him. That would be up to him as far as I'm concerned. I would.
Up to Ashley Robinson?
It'll probably be up to Ashley, but I would, if it was me, he could coach. If he didn't want to coach it, that would be fine too. But my thing right now is what they're saying, like I was telling Doc, the thing in Atlanta is they're saying that Ashley already has his person.
Hold on, Doc. Let me interject because I want to speak on that celebration and gratitude to you, Mr. Ford. Ashley, I think this is my first time ever having a conversation with you. So
right.
Gratitude. I'm Sir Retro in the chat and Margo from the Jack. I wanted to ask you, okay, so in many years, ones have spoken about players that's, of course, NFL prospects playing inside bowl games. Would that be the same thing for a player like Aubrey Miller to play inside a bowl game? Now, quoted, typically they refer to these bowl games like for the FBS, they you already know they'll call them meaningless bowl games.
Right.
Would that same thing translate for him for the Celebration Bowl?
Yeah, it'll be his decision now. If he doesn't want to play, he don't have to play. Because usually a guy like Aubrey Miller, after the Celebration Bowl is over, he's going with his agent. He's out of Jackson. He's going to probably go with an agent in Texas, California, and they're going to work him out and get him prepared for the Senior Bowl, get him if he gets an invite to the one up in Indianapolis. What do you call it? The Combine, those kinds of things. Because usually after the season is over, when you're highly rated like Aubrey Miller, they take him out of school.
So it could be in the best interest of Aubrey Miller not to go to the Celebration Bowl with everything going on.
Well, it's his decision. It'll be his decision.
Yeah, I know it's his decision, but the best interest.
But for a person like, I'm gonna tell you like this: for a person like Aubrey Miller, the way that he to me, I feel like the way that he's wired, he's gonna go. He wants to go play because
I think
he
so. I'm
wants
like
to
you.
win
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
championship because it was in his hands and they let it go. That's the reason why I feel like most of these kids that was there last season are going to want to play in the Celebration Bowl.
Right.
Uh, the I mean, Shador for one wants to play because he don't want if he's going to Colorado, and 9 times out of 10 he is going to Colorado with
Oh
his
yeah.
father.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, he wants to win a championship before he rolls up out there to go to Boulder. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? It's just to me, it's the competitor in you that wants to. You don't want to just shut it down and be like, man, I don't care about nothing else. I know what's going. You know what I'm saying? I know what's up once I get to this place right here. He wants to win a championship,
Right.
and he wants. To me, I feel like he wants to lead Jackson on a high note.
Right.
Why not go
Right.
and win the championship?
But
Why
this
not
is but this is the challenge here. Tomorrow is after tomorrow it will be a serious challenge for the simple reason. Coach Prime says that I'm in Colorado, da 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 da. It's going to be hard to motivate these players for the Celebration Bowl. You can say the main thing is the main thing, but the main thing is not the main thing when you know your coach is definitely gone.
Well, in that situation, what they'll do now, if he's not going to do it, they will go with the interim coach, which will probably be Coach Harrell, just like they did last year when he went into the hospital. You go with your plan B. It'll be Coach Harrell, but everybody else is there, with the exception of Coach Prime. Because that's what you usually do. When the coach like that, a job is coming up like that, or he signs to go to a job, you go to your interim coach, but everybody else stays in place.
Yeah. Mr. Ford, you know as well as I know, you used to coach. I heard you say you coach.
Oh, yeah.
And you know as well as I know, that is fine and down when you're mature. But when you're a teenager and young adult, it is hard to understand what's going on because of this. It's, you know what, distractions are one thing,
Right.
unnecessary distractions is another thing. And you know what? So, the emotions that go through their body and not their body, through their minds is totally different. And it's at a level where, am I really going to get on? I mean, I already won the SWAC championship. I'm going to get my ring. The Celebration Bowl, it might be icing on the cake. You know what I mean? Am I hungry or am I starving?
Well, let me just say this now. According to a person up here in Atlanta that I know that's a big-time Jackson State alum, he says that everything has been transparent. Now, when he was telling me that the administration knew everything that was going on, AD Ashley Robinson knew, President Hudson knew. Now, I'm thinking that he's been transparent with those players. And as long as you're truthful with them players, they know what's going on. These are grown men. They know what's going on. So if it was done in the dark and people were trying to hide stuff, I think it would be different. But from what I was told, everything has been transparent now.
Yeah, and you know what? You have a point there, but here's the fact. You know what I mean? I play professional hockey, right?
Right.
My mind process at 19, when I turned pro at 19, was much different than obviously as an older man. You know what I mean? So at 19 to 22, you might be physically as a man, but are you mentally as a man?
Right.
The maturity.
Right. Oh, yeah. I was talking to this guy that I was telling you about that's a Jackson State alum in Atlanta. And I wanted to know, did he think it would be internal, or would they bring, was it would the next coach be TC Taylor, or are they going to bring somebody? He said he didn't have an idea, but the word was that they do have somebody.
Yeah, they have some people. I mean, and when you think about it, Mr. Ford, I'm be honest with y'all. Ashley Robinson, he knew from the get-go that Prime wasn't going to be there for a long time. He knew from the get-go when he hired him in 2020. But he know that he got a list. He has to have a list to make sure that we keep the train going. That's the main thing about it. That's all it is. That's all it is. Everybody. Let me say this before we get continue going. Hey, we got over 350 people watching this stream right here. Let's get the likes up. Let's get it up to at least 150, y'all. And then let's get these viewers right here, and let's get them to be subscribers, y'all. Man, make sure we get them to subscribe and hit that like button. It's free. But yeah, but if you're looking at it, if you're looking at it, to me, it's like this. He knew from the jump what was going on.
Right. Yeah.
And it was, to me, it was the worst kept secret. It
Right.
was the worst kept secret in the world.
Yeah.
Because writing on the wall, like I said, and I preached it. I said this last night on the stream last night. Went on late last night. He did he was on a coaches conference call 1 week on the Monday. He said he had to fly to Denver. When Boulder from Denver is nothing but 45 minutes, y'all.
Right. Oh yeah.
And just when you put two together, just listen to this. Colorado fired Carl Durrell in the middle of the season,
right,
which is in October,
right,
mid-October. He fired that man. They fired that man. Let's just say, put it like this in SWAC terms, Jack State terms. They fired him before homecoming.
Right.
So he went up there and he probably met with them after the homecoming game. It was, to me, it was already in the works. They just working out semantics.
But and I want to add this to that now. Colorado was not the only team that Coach Prime met with. True. He met with some other people too, because now what they're saying now is that he did meet with those people in South Florida, but the thing that kind of went sour down there was he basically told them he wanted the same kind of control that he has at Jackson State, because really the football team was his baby, and of course you know how them Caucasians was looking when he said that. Yeah, you already know how they were looking.
But here's the thing also, Colorado has been under the Nike umbrella. Coach Prime is Under Armour. So we'll see how that works out also.
Somebody said that Colorado's already Under Armour. They had switched over to Under Armour now. When? I mean, not now, but before then.
Okay, but here's the other question that I have to you guys. So you're saying, okay, obviously, everything's been transparent. Then what did Jackson State do or not do to try to retain him?
Well, see, here's the thing. Once Colorado put the offer in and was talking $67 million base salary, Ashley and them knew that it was nothing they could do.
But the thing is, here, Mr. Ford, here's my rebuttal on that.
Right.
The alumni, I don't know. I heard that it was a $5,000 or $10,000 in alumni. If they gave what was $1,000 each, there's your $5 million right there. Right?
Yeah,
so
right.
You're not going to maybe give them a $5 million salary per se, but you can give it close to that, and you have enough money left over for their assistant coaches. And I understand that in Jacksonville, Doc, you know better than I do because you were, alumni there, and as far as you went to school. So the thing is the business community able or willing is the word I'm going to say to get together and say, you know what? We're making X amount of dollars. Our revenue stream is flowing. Let's give 10% to the community. But what I heard the other day and understand, because a lot of the business are white owners, and we understand the racial divide in Mississippi, what goes on. So you might have, there's a question there. Well, you know what? They don't give a, as far as that goes, as long as they're takers and not givers. So at the end of the day, because remember when Coach Prime was on the podcast, leisure, whatever in leisure, and he said,
"Earn your leisure."
Yeah, we brought in $30 million. All I want is a tip. So you know what? There's underlining factor there that's not happening on the responsible side because if you have a guy that's generating $30 million a year, and you know what, progressively going up, and you don't try to to make a committee to try and keep him, well, you have nothing to say. You know, when somebody's gone, it's too late. Don't cry over spilled milk.
Well, now, one of the things I say, and I've talked to people about this. The whole thing with the prime effect was they gave us a recipe, and that's why I was trying to get that alum. That I was trying to ask, do you go and get another celebrity coach like Deion? Do you look at a Herm Edwards? Do you look at a Marvin Lewis? Or do you go internally? Do you get a T.C. Taylor? Do you get maybe Coach Ridley? Where do you go? Now, personally, with where Jackson State is to me, I think they forced to go get a big name person.
Like
I don't
who?
think they got a choice.
But like who?
Like I said, I would definitely talk to Marvin Lewis. I would talk to Herm Edwards. I would even talk to Art Browse. Now, I know some people going to have a problem with that. I would talk to Art Browse.
What I heard the other day from Ken Clark, they're not going to hire a white head coach.
Oh, okay.
Man, my whole thing is is all who he has on that short list. The short list of names that he got. That's all it depends. It all depends on who he has on that list. We don't know who he has on the list.
And according to the guy I talked to, he said we don't have to speculate long. They're gonna name him, and within a week and a half, they're gonna name him.
You got to.
Yeah, so they're gonna name him.
T.C. Taylor would be the guy if doesn't go with Coach Prime that I would, because he's been there. He understands what Coach Prime did. He has a good reverence to what's going on, and he'd be ideal to carry the torch per se. And he's an alumni, and you know what? I think he would do a good job, and he might be able to retain some of the players that are there already because he has a relationship with them. And so I think that would be a good hire. That's my personal feelings as far as that goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I had a chance to meet TC when he was up at North Carolina Central with Jerry Mack. You're right. He has his head to the ground. The bright lights hadn't made him crazy. Humble individual. Yeah, he would do well. He would do well.
I remember TC when we was in class together.
Oh, yeah.
That's how far we go back. That's how far TC through and through is Jackson State, regardless of the fact.
Oh, yeah.
But my whole thing is, he wants to take over he wants to take over this train, this freight train that we got.
But here's the thing now. You know that some of the alums are going to be for him. Just like we saying, there's going to be some alums that want the celebrity coach, the Herm Edwards, the Marvin Lewises. But a fraction of them are going to be for T.C. Taylor.
But the only thing is with the Herm Edwards that got fired from Arizona State.
Right.
I put him off the list. Marvin Lewis, a great coach, I put him off the list because they might not have that same enthusiasm and vigor that a T.C. Taylor will have.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
what do you think about a Ray Lewis or Ed Reed or Michael Vick? What do you think about those kind of people?
Well, Ed Reed and Ray Lewis, I don't think, for the simple reason they're enriched in the Hurricane culture.
Right.
It's all about the Hurricanes. It's like somebody said Warren Sapp. Warren Sapp, yes, he showed up at Jackson State, but Warren Sapp said he thinks he's dealing with CT. That's definitely not a good choice. You know what I mean?
Right. That's right. I heard that too. Yeah.
So I think, you know what I mean, just on, you know what I mean, we're talking about Taggart, Willie, you know what I mean, it might be a good choice. But I think if T.C. Taylor does not leave, I think he would be an ideal choice because not only would it be a safe choice, it'd be a choice where he's been there for 2 years. He's seen how Coach Prime operated. He's seen, he knows the momentum that goes on. He can pick that up, you know what I mean, and carry it as far as and it wouldn't be as much pressure on him as if you bring in a so-called celebrity big-time coach.
Right. Okay.
So I'm gonna say it like this. Another thing that we need to, I'm gonna say it like this before we get back on subject. Shout out to the men's basketball team for Jackson State men's basketball team beating Southern Methodist by a point today here in Dallas. I didn't get a chance to see that game because I was at work.
Right.
But shout out to them and shout out to Coach Mo Williams for getting his first victory today and beating an actual decent team.
Right.
So, man, it should be a celebration, y'all. It should be a celebration right now that we are sitting up high. That we got the number one school in all of HBCU football right now
Right.
that just won the SWAC championship.
But if
Let me just say this about Coach Mo Williams. I would love for him to go and get some of them. You know, they got a bunch of 7-footers in Africa, and then they got these Africans in France. They got that youth academy over there. They got all these super players. I wish because that's what Gonzaga's living off of. They're going and getting these Africans, and they're going and getting these kids from France. I wish Coach Mo Williams would look at that too. You know, look at bringing them Africans in and bringing them kids in from France.
she's to talk to
Yeah.
Zuri up in Toronto, the Toronto Raptors, because he's one of the big proponents of the league over there in Africa. And you know
Right.
what? And I agree with you totally, because
Yeah.
a lot of these players are very skilled, and you know what? And there'd be a great opportunity for them to bring them over and see how that goes. I totally agree with you, Mr. Ford.
Yeah.
This is something that I just got. We're gonna hit back to about Coach Prime.
Right.
This is something from Blue Bloods from Blue. This is a immediate release from Jackson State University. Is dated Saturday, December 3rd, 2022. JSU statement regarding post-game press conference from Jackson, Mississippi. Coach Prime attempted to enter the interview room. Southern's press conference was still in progress. Coach Prime then left the stadium to attend official business with the athletic director and the team. So that is the
Yeah, making an announcement. He's making an announcement.
so
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised he catches a late red eye tonight and be in Boulder tomorrow and he signs the contract tomorrow.
Mr. Ford, it won't be a red eye; it'll be a private jet.
Yeah, you're right. It'll be a private jet. You're right. From Boulder.
But it's like, you know what? It's like I said before, I don't count anybody's pockets, because you know what? Somebody's pockets is their pockets. And
Right.
the thing is this, I'm a bandwagon fan. I'll be the first one to admit it. As far as I've been a Deion Sanders fan for many years. And when he went to JSU, I was happy for him, because I know he interviewed with the Florida State and Arkansas, didn't get the jobs. And I know he was disappointed not getting the Arkansas job. And the thing is, going to JSU, watching his press conference, and saying that about everybody, how he believes God called him, and he picked up the phone, collect, and all that. And see, what the people are going to be disappointed is what he said and what he's doing.
Yeah.
If he didn't say all that, he said, "Listen, I'm grateful for this opportunity to be at JSU," and left it at that. We're going to try to do a winning tradition, and then after leave, that's fine. You know what I mean? There's no gripes. But what happens when a man says something about what he did say, about leveling the playing field, about doing this? Is there argument saying that he leveled the playing field? There could be somebody that look at the most optimistic side and say, yes, he has, but we know he hasn't, because he said the other day in his press conference last week, I got a long way to go. And so when you say you got a long way to go and you say you want to level the playing field, you didn't fulfill the mission. So if you don't fulfill the mission, what happens? You're short of your goal. And
Yeah.
the thing is, then all of a sudden the narrative changes. The narrative changed to what? Now I want to get my assistant coaches paid. He has been saying that for a while, but the
Right.
narrative did change. So the thing is that a way that he gets it out? Oh, I want to get it's not about me. If I get money, it doesn't really matter for me, for the simple reason my lifestyle doesn't change. That's what he said. Then, the other day in his press conference, he said, it's not my decision, not about me. It's about this coach over there, this, and that one. And that is fine, trying to betterment of other people's life. But you have to be, in my opinion, when you say something, you got to be conscious of what you say and say what you mean.
Well, let me just add on to that. Now, I've been reading, different media from around the country, and especially media comes from the NCAA. The powers to be in college football were basically wanting Deion out of Mississippi. They wanted Deion out of Jackson State. Number one, he was bringing too much attention to Jackson State. He was bringing too much attention to HBCUs. He was causing the top black athletes in these high schools to once again look at the HBCUs.
Yeah.
And they don't want that, because you have to understand, a Travis Hunter represents millions, almost billions of dollars, not just in his playing on the field, but in his jersey, in his media rights. All that stuff means a lot to these major colleges. And so they decided, listen, we're going to put this bag together. We're going to put these millions together, and we're going to offer this Negro this money, and we're going to see if he bites. Now, I continue to say, if he had been patient and got Shedeur out of Jackson, he would have gotten the SEC offer that he wanted. He went for the, I told y'all the other night, he went for the ugly girl. Because I'm telling you that he is not going to turn that. I'm listen. I'm not being disrespectful or anything, but I know about Colorado football, Buffalo football. He's not going to turn that program around, and they're going to give him less time than they gave Charlie Strong down there at Texas.
Let me get Boss Wilson, Boss Villain to speak on behalf. What's going on?
What's up, y'all? What's up, family? See, the whole thing is this, right? Like the one brother just said. What you say means something, especially when you put Jesus and all that in it when you're talking about black people. So number one, I think he underestimated his pull. I think he underestimated how much he had something to do with his success. He had a lot to do with it.
Right.
But it also was blended in with what was going on at the time when he came to Jackson State. He said he was seeing what's going. This is what he said out of his mouth. He said he was seeing what's going on in the country. He said everybody else talk with their Twitter fingers about change. He said, I'm coming to do it real. I'm coming to make real change.
Right.
I'm coming to level the playing field for these kids. This is what he said out of his mouth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out who he got advising him, because somebody got to tell him, like, look, Prime, you ain't going to have the same pull in the recruitment in Boulder
right.
that you got in Jackson State, because even though it's you, Jackson State, HBCU is the pull that you got.
Right.
Because
right.
you doing FBS things at a HBCU. So now when a kid going, it's almost like Travis Hunter said out of his own mouth. He said he came for the culture.
Right.
That culture ain't in Boulder.
That's right.
So that culture ain't in Boulder, then
hold on one sec. I just got breaking news from the Bleacher Report saying that Coach Prime just told his players that he's going to coach at Colorado.
Oh yeah. That's what basically.
So the whole thing was, it's almost like he was a snake oil seller, like they call it. Like it's almost like he was talking from two sides of his mouth, because check this out. Prime, whenever a player has to make it, what pitch is you gonna give to a player to make him come to Boulder, when the pitch you was given to him down in Jackson State was you're gonna be playing in front of 60,000 of your people,
right,
in homecoming?
Yeah.
Like, what pitches you gonna give these players, Prime? Because the players gonna say you did what was best for you, so now I'm gonna do what's best for me. I'm going to Alabama, Ohio State, Clemson, one of them teams. I ain't coming up there to Colorado with you.
Well, listen, now, one thing you got to keep in mind, now, Prime was trained by T.D. Jakes. Okay.
Preach.
Yeah, he was a part of that Potter House phenomenon. So he used, he kind of had that black preacher type, thing going on. And you're right. I said, some people up here were calling him a fraud, but like I tell people all the time.
He had to know that his character was going to take a hit off this.
It took a hit, and it's going to take a bigger hit. But
what he failed to realize is, all right, Prime, you got all these. Just think about this. The last one, he got all these endorsements, right?
Yeah.
Off the field.
Right.
why you ain't just pay your coaches?
That's true.
Like why you ain't get your endorsers to endorse your coaches?
Yeah.
Because
But
you
now,
knew when you came to Jackson State, you knew because you said God called. I'm just saying what he said out of his mouth. God called you collect. And when you got a collect call, what that mean? You got to pay for that call.
yeah.
So he said he knew he was going to have to make sacrifices.
Well,
That's what he said.
one thing I want you to always remember, I'm from South Georgia. And one thing they should tell us down there, that segregated South Georgia, one monkey don't stop no show. And if he wants to go to Colorado, I'm happy for him. Because you know what?
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah. Because if he
I'm gonna
want to
keep it
go to
real with you. I'm
Colorado,
not
I'm
happy
happy for him. Because let me tell you something. There's some more great coaches in that can take Jackson State to greater heights. Because
But all I'm saying is that Mr. Ford, he miscalculated, and this gonna really be a disgrace on him.
oh yeah,
Because he's gonna get up
but
there in
I
Colorado.
said that I don't think I know that he can't turn that program around. He's not going to win at Colorado.
And that's what I'm saying.
He's not going to win up there.
And the thing is, Mr. Ford and Boss Phil is this. You guys are so right. But all the homes that he's winning, that he had an opportunity to go into black mothers and say, you know what, about this, and that. And all of a sudden, you know what I mean? You're preaching a different tune. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, it's all about
there you go, right there.
And you know what?
There you go, right there.
His credibility to me is shot because
Yep.
everything that he said before, as far as like that, and bringing people to HBCU, that we're going to hear a lot more things coming out. Well, why he left, as far as like that. If he would have said from the get go, thank you, Ashley Robinson, for this opportunity at JSU. I'm going to do the best. I'm going to turn this into a winner. That's it. That's all. But when you invoke God. When you invoke God to call me,
go right there, sir.
And then all of a sudden, and I picked up, and it's been a cost. It's costing me. Then you change the narrative for coaches. This is the thing. Coach Prime is a man. He can do whatever he wants, how he feels, whatever.
You're right.
But you cannot invoke the God and the people that are spiritually that are spiritually invoked in them, and all of a sudden now that you're going to leave. So what is it?
It's like it's hypocritical. Let's just call the thing a thing. It's
Coach
hypocritical.
Prime thinks he bigger than the.
Hold on. Let me. Hey, boss. Let me say something though.
Okay.
Let me say something on the real. A lot of people are saying that in the chat that we sound like hypocrites. We sound like haters. We're not sounding like haters.
No.
We
just saying a man like
we are sports enthusiasts. We are looking at it on both sides of the spectrum. You got to understand where we coming from. The main thing about what he did at Jackson State, he did his job.
Yeah,
that was his job was to uplift Jackson State. His job was not supposed to uplift the SWAC. His job was to coach Jackson State football. Point blank. Did his job in 3 years. He went out a winner today.
Two SWAC championships.
But here's the thing.
But I understand, and they understand the fact that what he used on the other side, do not use the Lord's name in vain.
But Doc, here's my pushback. Here's my pushback on this is that he said that obviously did he have success? 1,000%. But he also said, I'm not only doing it for JSU, I'm doing it for HBCU. So, you know, when you invoke everybody, as far as HBCU spare, that's one thing. I am not a hater of Coach Prime. I respect what he's done.
Right.
But you know what? Do not say one thing and then I'll turn it back
and do another.
It seems to me that he feels that he has to be validated by coaching a white school. That's what it seems to me.
Well, let me ask the floor this. Let me ask the floor this. Okay. Yeah. Do you think? What do you think about Shedeur going through another rebuilding stage? His first year was to rebuild in the Jackson State then, and now it's going to be another rebuilding in Colorado.
He
Nah,
takes Brett Bartolome. They're going to run that same offense that Bartolome is running now. He's going to take Bartolome. He's going to take Dennis Sturm. He'll probably take everybody, probably with the exception of the guy we just talked about, TC and Coach Ridley and them. But the rest of that staff, he's going, because now the word is that he's already basically got his people. He knows who's going.
I don't think he's taking Coach Thurman though.
Which one?
I don't think he's taking Coach Thurman, because I think Coach Thurman he called Coach Thurman out of his retirement to come over here. And
okay.
coach. I don't think he's taking Coach Thurman with him. Majority, I think he's only taking 3 assistants with him, from what I'm hearing, and everybody else is coming from different schools that he's.
But it is Bartolome, right? Bartolome is one of them, isn't it?
Yeah.
It should be,
but
yeah,
they say Bartolome ain't gonna be the OC no more.
Oh, he's not. Okay.
They say this is what I heard. I heard that he taking Thurman, but he ain't gonna be no OC. He gonna be an analyst.
Oh, okay.
And Bartolome gonna be an analyst. But just like you said, so Retro, just like you just said, or the people that saying that we haters. Check this out, man. Do anybody in this, like, we men, one thing about us is we stand on principles and morals. You feel me? Like, that means something. That ain't nothing that, because when you came to Jackson State, you said you were standing on principles and morals yourself. You literally got kids to come to Jackson State by telling them to come and make history.
Yeah.
You told Travis be the first 5 to come to an HBCU and change history. Out of Travis's, you notice they say Travis wasn't even hurt, and he didn't even play the rest of the game.
Well, he had flu-like symptoms, though.
Yeah, flu-like symptoms. Yeah.
Yeah,
So what Shiloh was at today?
Huh?
What Shiloh was?
Shiloh was on disciplinary issue because of I don't know what he did, but he didn't show.
He was late for practice.
He was late for practice, and
right.
if you don't come to practice on time, or if you're late, he already said you're not playing in the game.
Right. Yeah, that was on one of this the YouTube. I saw the video when he told them before they left for Thanksgiving, if they were late, he was gonna discipline them.
And I'm gonna say it like this, boss. Let me say it like this.
Charlotte might stay at JSU.
Well, if he goes to Colorado, he's ineligible the first year because he's already transferred once.
Let me
say it like this though.
And he almost a senior, right?
Yeah, but he could be a grad transfer when he graduates.
But let me say this though. Everything people saying in the chat is like this. Look, we all know we made history from the jump.
Yeah.
From the jump. We made history. Let's keep it a buck. We made history. We know we made history.
Right.
This is the first team that ever in Jackson State history. We talking about a long history all the way from the year 1901 to 2022 that we never had an undefeated football season.
Right.
In our school history. We have done that. We talking about Deion has done something that even the great W.C. Gordon, God rest his soul, has never done.
Right.
And even James Big Daddy Carson, God rest his soul, he has never done. Even Big John Merritt, when he was here at Jackson State for that little short time, he has not done. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna give Prime his flowers because he deserved it. He deserved it. When he came in as the head coach, I was all ecstatic. I was ecstatic for the fact that he is coaching my alma mater. I done seen this man. He was one of my favorite players in the NFL. The thing is, I became a fanboy. Now, when he first got here spring season, I'm starting to be a little bit skeptical because we're trying to figure out what is his coach, how's his coaching methods, what is his coaching routine, what is this, what is that? You know what I'm saying? Now then when the fall comes, you see it full blown when the fall came. And then when you seen it this season, it was just straight overload. So it's like we have seen a progression of him being a head coach at a college football team. We have seen him. We have the ebbs and flows of him being the head football coach of Jackson State University. Now, I'm gonna say it like this: did he uplift Jackson State?
Yes. Yes.
Did he uplift the SWAC? Yes,
Yes.
he did. Yes, he did. He didn't have to do it, but
Right.
he uplifted the SWAC. Why? Not even by just saying something, just by his presence.
Yes, sir.
Like,
Yes, sir.
like
Yes,
we didn't
sir.
have we didn't have the SWAC we didn't have the SWAC Media Day on TV before he
Right.
got here.
Yeah.
Okay.
We didn't have none of that stuff like that.
Okay.
We didn't see, and I'm gonna be real with y'all. Yes, we was on TV as far as the ESPNs and stuff like that. But you know why we was on TV? Because they used to do it as a tape delay.
That's
And
right.
you would see it at
not live,
at 8,
not
9
live.
o'clock. It was not
Right.
live. Everything
Okay.
that you seen last year and this year, especially this season,
Okay.
was live
Okay.
in full effect.
And I wish we could get rid of that ESPN Plus because I hate it.
All that.
I hate it.
Go ahead, Doc.
And I want to say this for all the ones who keep saying this crab in the bucket mentality. Really question your frame on how you stand. The only way you can only feel like that is if you feel like the other side is better than what you got over here. You feel like the grass is greener. Outside of that, I don't understand the logic. I digress, man.
All I'm saying is this, though, Doc. All that you said is cool, but the question is did he level the playing field?
No.
That's what he
No.
said he wanted
No,
to
he didn't
do.
level
Right.
he didn't
No.
level the playing.
No. He made
Did
some
he
accountable.
level
No.
the playing field?
No.
So therefore, what he did was, and you know something that I noticed, all the NFL players all said that he was leaving. If you know the people that knew him the closest, all said that he was going to leave. So they knew that he was a snake oil salesman. They knew what he was. They knew that about him.
I
They
can't call
knew
him a
that.
snake. I can't call him a snake oil salesman because what he did say it did come to fruition. It did come to fruition when he started. And Mr. Ford, you know how it was when he started talking about excuse my language, those shitty contracts that we were signing for these
Right.
classics, especially the Bayou Classic, the Southern Heritage Classic, and I think what was the other one that we was talking about. I think it was just those two because those were one of the two biggest classes that most of some of the SWAC schools played in. Like he the one that brought that to light. We didn't even know about how much money we was.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that.
Getting about as far as
about that.
These classics. You know what I'm saying? He was
Right.
saying that why do we need to go to these shady, or not even say shady promoters, but these greedy promoters
Right.
to say, hey, give us this, you give us this money, we're gonna bring everybody, but we're not gonna get a dime off of this. But our product on the field is the kids, these men that's on the field, and they busting their ass on the field, and we're not getting compensated as a whole university as a whole, because you want to keep all the money to yourself.
Right, and that's what they do. The promoters are leeches.
But at the same time, though, Doc, did he change it?
The thing is also,
did the prices change?
But he always kept on saying,
he would have had to be there at least a couple more years for him to get something that's like a concrete change, like something that was going. And another thing is too, he leaving, but why he leaving? He taking people with him.
But
he taking away from the squad. I can see if he was just leaving, but Shador wasn't leaving or Travis wasn't leaving, but he taking them with him.
But
But
boss,
most coaches do that now. Most coaches, when they leave, they take kids with them.
yeah, but boss, didn't he have a song back in the day? It's about the money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You're right about that, brother. You're
Listen, I told y'all the underlying thing was the power structure in college football, the media, the people at the NCAA. They wanted him out of Mississippi. They wanted him out of HBCU football, and they wanted him out of Jackson State because he was a threat. He was causing 4 and 5 stars to consider black schools. That's not what the NCAA initially didn't even want black schools in it. And then what they've always done, all their legislation has always been to hurt black schools. And then this guy come in bringing, like you said, bringing Travis Hunter to Jackson State. They said, no, let's get this money together. He got to go.
But that
do you think Travis go to Colorado though?
Yeah, he's going. Travis is going with him.
Why would he go to Colorado, Mr. Ford?
Because Deion asked him. He's going to go.
But
let me say this. Let me say this. Hey, let me say this so before y'all go. So I'm gonna answer this question that this guy Blue 360 just asked me. So he says everyone on the panel going for his coaching expenses for the team and other schools. I'll wait. Matter of fact, are you going to promote all the schools so we can get national attention, sir? On my show, on my podcast, I talk about. I'm gonna give you the rundown. I talk about the SWAC. I talk about the MEAC. I talk about the CIAA. I talk about the SIAC. I talk about the NAIA schools that are HBCU conferences or that are in white conferences that the only HBCU in that conference. I talk about all those schools. If you want me to go to it, I will talk about the HBCUs, community colleges that's in football and basketball, baseball, whatever, the culture. That the name of my show is HBCU Overdrive. It ain't Jackson State Overdrive. It is HBCU Overdrive. I'm just so happy to be an alumni of Jackson State University. Thank you.
And the thing is this, Mr. Ford, you're so right. And we all know, see, the thing is, we're all intelligent men. And we all know as soon as Coach Prime had a semblance of success, that the Power Fives will get it because what he's doing. But that's been the oldest game. Anytime, anytime a white man does, and I'm not making this on a racial line, I'm just stating a fact. Anytime the white man has a problem, they get a black man to come in and clean it up, then they hire another white man. We all know this. But I didn't think, and I'm being gullible at my 62 years old of age, that I didn't think Coach Prime would fall for the okie doke.
And that's what happened. He fell for the okie doke.
And to add on to that, to what the person said, like, listen, don't think we understand that he took the offer, but that don't mean that he's not above being criticized for his principles and morals. He's not above that, because at the end of the day, when you go in them living rooms with them mothers and you trying to get their kids to come to their school, that's what you got to stand on. You got to stand on that. You got to. They ain't looking at you because you Coach Prime and you gonna take their son here. You got to tell them something.
Yes, and you know what? And you know what, Boss William, you're so right, because you see what you say and what you do means big time. The thing is, now he goes to a recruit and says, a new recruit that goes to the parent's house, maybe goes to a single mother that's been raising her son to be a fine young man, and all of a sudden the mother says, Coach Prime, what happened in Jackson State? You said this, you said that. How can I believe that you're going to be true?
Right.
Yeah, your character is going to take a hit.
Oh, no doubt about that.
I'm gonna say it like this.
The bottom line.
I'm gonna say it like this. I'm gonna say it like this though. It ain't what's going on, Elijah. I'm gonna say it like this.
What's up?
At least he not like how I'm gonna put a name out there, and y'all already know who y'all probably know who I'm talking about. At least he's not like Bobby Petrino to leave in the night and not tell nobody where the hell he was going. That he was going back to. He left Atlanta
and went to Arkansas. He went to Arkansas.
Yeah, but you know what? That's white man culture. They do stuff like that.
That's right.
This is a black man that's that's revered and reverenced by black people. You know what I mean? And he goes in and he's preaching, quote unquote, the gospel to people. You know what I mean? He's quoting different phrases in the Bible, which is fine. I strongly believe in that, and I praise him for that. Listen, like I was saying, I'll say it again. I am a Deion Sanders fan. The thing is, what happens now? I lost not respect, but his moral compass has lessened if he accepts his job. Because why are you, a man of Deion Sanders' stature, going to a school that is trash? So are you just you want acceptance to a white college, to say that, you know what I mean? I've got Power 5. If he waits another year or two, he'll get a job, if his heart desires, at a much better college. What does it tell us when Auburn doesn't give him an offer? What does it tell us when his own alma mater doesn't give him an offer? What does it tell us when the job in Arkansas doesn't? What does it tell us Nebraska and the Cornhuskers don't offer him a job? But you know what? You're going to accept Colorado. That's the conference, two of their major teams, publicity-wise and television revenue, is leaving. Right. But you're going to accept Colorado. You're getting crumbs. So what they're saying to us, that as a black man, you'll accept anything because I offer it to you. Right.
Yeah. Like you said, somebody just said it. He fell for the okadoke. Because all of them got money, and that's what they gave. I mean, what we in is $67 million.
Let me get Elijah. I want to get Elijah to speak. What's going on, Elijah? How you doing?
He fine. He accepts somewhere because he has told the team that he is leaving. They showed it on camera, and he told the team that he's leaving. Also said that he wants TC to be head coach. I don't know how that's gonna work out, but that's what he the AD was sitting next.
Now you making calls. Now you try to run the Now you trying to run the thing on your way out the door.
The AD is sitting next to him when he's talking, and he was making a suggestion about TC and being the head coach. He also was telling the guys that he wanted to talk to them because he said, I know y'all done heard the rumors. He said after this Celebration Bowl, he's moving on. He will not be coaching at Jackson State next year. And he was telling the guys, don't enter the portal, because if you enter the portal, you may not be picked up, even though you're with Jackson State and you got them championship things on your under your belt. My thing is this. He has hurt some guys because Savion Wilkerson can't keep transferring.
No, he can't. He's transferred once. Yeah, he can't.
Yeah.
He can transfer, but he has to sit out.
Yeah. And
that's the same thing with Shiloh. If Shiloh transfers, he has to sit out.
He has to sit out too. So that's two men that are caught up in the loop. I don't know if Travis Hunter gonna leave, because you gotta understand, parents gonna talk to their children.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's now, because I heard a lady a week ago talk on one of the shows saying now the parents are gonna take over, and if he try to go for their kids, they gonna remember what he did with Jackson State.
Right.
And this was a mother that was talking. It wasn't a father. It was a mother that was talking.
That's what we were just saying. That's what we were just saying. I don't understand why he really miscalculating. Like, he really think he bigger than the culture. That's what it sounds like to me, man. He thinks he is bigger than the culture. He thinks that he is the culture. But what he don't understand is that your pull was you was doing FBS things at an HBCU. That was your pull.
Even Stephen A. Smith was trying to tell him, don't go to Colorado.
Even Finnebaum said it was a garbage dog.
Yeah.
Been that way 30 years.
Yeah. I mean,
wow, Prime.
You can't pull that.
Away for about 20.
Listen, the last time Colorado was relevant, they stole the Heisman Trophy from Steve McNair and gave it to Rashad Salone. That's the last time they were relevant.
I don't know. So my thing is this. You know, I'm gonna keep rooting for Jackson State like I've been doing.
Me too, man.
Yeah.
Me too.
We need a good coach up in there, and no need of trying to put TC as the coach because he's not gonna be able to make Jackson State be where it's at right now. You need a coach to come in and be able to pull those young men. Because now those young men are paying attention to Jackson State to see who they're going to put at the helm as coach.
Yeah.
You correct.
That's going to that's going to play a lot of attention as to, can I keep pulling these guys that are in the portal? Because if what's that young brother name that used to play for Delaware State and he was a safety, and he said he's making his decision.
That's my young one right there. He
right.
I talk to him a lot.
So it's gonna be interesting to see where he go now, because a lot of these kids gonna end up going to the Power 5 because of the fact of what they have seen. And you mean to tell me ain't no coach gonna stay at the HBCU, but you telling us to come there? And we can't keep the good coaches there.
And then on top of that, Prime.
Hey, let me say this.
We gonna pass up Alabama and go to Colorado?
Hold on.
Let me say this. Let me say this though. On the real. Can we say something? Can I say something on this? I'm still gonna give the man his flowers. He just did I ain't say it's not a finesse job. But just think about it.
Yeah.
Because he's supposed to hear. But have you ever heard of an HBCU head football coach getting the opportunity to coach at a Power 5 school?
No.
I want everybody in here to answer that question. Just answer that question. Have you heard?
No, but the thing is, like Coach Prime always said, not all money's good money. So you know what? If you just want to aspire to coach at a FBS school because so if it's a trash job, you're going to take it.
Well, the thing is, if you pay attention, I think this was like a setup. Get him away from the school because he's making it so relevant and making it so powerful.
And he fell for
it. He fell for it. He fell for it.
I understand Jackson State people. I swear I understand. Because I ain't go to no HBCU. I came to the SWAC with Prime. But now I'm going to stay in the SWAC because Prime, we got to really get behind the SWAC. Because we got
to push it now.
We got to push it. The
culture is gonna keep going no matter if you stay or leave.
You without the culture ain't the pull, dude.
Yeah, we got to keep pushing. We got to push this. We got to push the SWAC. We got to. We ain't got no choice.
You with the culture was the pull. You without the culture ain't no pull, man. You going up there to Colorado, a player gonna say.
But I'm just gonna say this though. It is the thing about it is the man came and coached at an HBCU, made us the hottest thing on the damn planet. And Power 5 job. I cannot hate on that. I cannot hate on that. He did what he wanted. He did what he's supposed to do. He wanted to go P5 from the start when he first started coaching. He didn't get the chance to it because he didn't have the credentials to do it because
they rejected
he didn't have the degree. He didn't have the degree at first. That's the reason why he went to Talladega and got the degree. He finished at Talladega. He didn't finish at Florida State. He left Florida State early. He finished at
you see, they kept, as you can see, they kept moving the goalposts. That's what I see. They kept moving that goalpost.
And everybody's saying in the chat, be happy for the man. Yes, I'm gonna be happy for him because why he got it's not his dream job, but it's a start for something. It ain't the job that he wanted, but it's a job that he got and he earned, and he did what he did here at I Love Jackson State University, and he coached his butt off. He turned them boys from losers. He turned us from losers into winners back again.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
we can't fault him for that. We can't even say anything bad about that, because when we was winning, we gave all the credit to the coaching staff, to Coach Prime, and the players. Now, what do we do? I mean, my whole thing, I cannot sit here and I'm not going to bash this man for anything about what he does. But on the real though, I'm a man. I'm a person when it comes to my show. I'm a person when it comes to my show. I'm a person about giving people their flowers, giving them the respect, that they do. I understand. Yes, he played down the name on the HBCU culture, but you got to realize all 4 of his kids was in this culture for 3 years.
2.
Two, because Bossy is the last one, and
the girl, she only been there 1 year, ain't her?
This is a freshman year. I think this is a freshman year, isn't it?
This is a freshman year.
Freshman year.
I wonder what he told. I wonder what he told his kids.
In this culture.
But Doc, here's what I got to ask you a question, Doc. You know what I mean? You know, I got a lot of reverence for you. But my question to you, it's not that we're downing Coach Prime or something. A man can do what he wants to do. But the thing is, you cannot say if you say it individually or privately that your plans were this, and that, is fine.
Right.
But when
yes, that's why
I'm going to put it this way: you're at a high school dance. The beautiful girl in the dance, you don't get her. You can't get her because she's looking at everybody else. 30 years down the road, she don't look the same way. But then all of a sudden you have an opportunity to get her. It's not the same thing. And this is what Coach Prime, he might have wanted to go to the Power Fives, but they did not give him an opportunity. It was the girl that was, you know what I mean, in the shadows.
The girl,
said, you know what, Coach Prime, I like you. I like you. You know what I mean? You hit off a relationship. Why not finish the relationship? Then you can move on. This is my point here. You know what I mean? He can do what he wants to do. But the thing is, you cannot say to somebody one thing and completely do the other thing, because not only morally is it wrong, in my opinion, hypocritically it's wrong, in my opinion. You know what I mean? If we can give anybody flowers, I will give him. Did he bring success to Jackson State? Undefeated season? 1,000%. He brought entertainment. He put the spotlight on him. Jackson State is better off today than it was before he started. But is the mission so completed? No. It's not completed. This is my point that I'm saying as far as like that. And the thing is, you know what? A man is good as 2 things: his word and what else. But the thing is, you cannot go into a black mother's home and say this, and that. And you know what they're going to say? What happened in Jackson State?
Oh, God.
Hey, Doc, I understand. Hey, Doc, I understand what you're saying. But just to piggyback off Sir Rhett, like, this is the whole thing, right? The only reason why he was at Jackson State, because Jackson State was the only people that was going to give him opportunity. That's why he was at Jackson State, because he really wanted to go to Florida State.
I never said that it was, he was just here just to be here. My whole thing is why he was here. He put everything on a pedestal. He showed us how to win again, because we haven't won in almost 7 years.
Right.
You got to realize.
So do you think y'all gonna keep winning?
Since 2013.
Since 2013, we played.
Since 2013.
No, but I'm saying we played Southern in the Celebration Bowl in 2013. We lost that game. Guess what happened after that? They fired Rick Comedy. Why? Because Rick Comedy was doing the damn job that he was supposed to do. He doesn't have anything to do about the APR and stuff like that. That's on the school right there. He did his damn job when he was at Jackson State. They fired him, and they kept going through this damn coaches carousel over and over and over and over again. And to the fact where they fired the AD, that's where Ashley Robinson came into play. Ashley Robinson been at Jackson State since 2019, and he was at Prairie View before that time. Guess who he gave the job to at Prairie View? He gave the job to Willie Simmons. He gave the job to Willie
And
Sims.
Dooley. And Eric Dooley. He hired Eric Dooley.
And Eric Dooley. He hired Eric Dooley as the head coach for Prairie View. All right. And guess what he did when he was at Mississippi Valley? Because he was the AD at Mississippi Valley. He hired Vincent Dancy, who was at Jackson State alum. The man know how. I'm gonna tell you just like this. AD Ashley
Do you
Robinson
think y'all
know
gonna
how
keep winning?
Yeah,
Huh?
because he gonna hire the right coach. He's
Yeah, I
not
think he
gonna
will too. Yeah,
Yeah.
he will.
he's not
Yeah.
gonna do TC. He's
Yeah.
not doing TC at
And that's
all.
why-
He's gonna hire a coach
this
that's
what
gonna keep them winning.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying, boss. What I'm saying is this: AD Ashley Robinson knows how to pick people that know how to win. Even
Right.
when he was at
Right.
Valley, and Valley is a struggling program that needs to go down to D2. And I'm gonna say it just like that. They need to go down to D2 because they can't get the things that they want to get there. But guess what? Coach Dancy has been doing the damn thing at Valley for the longest. And them kids play hard as hell for that man right there. That man
Sure did.
is swag going through. Okay. Ashley Robinson picked him. He picked Willie Simmons as the next head coach at Prairie View. When Willie went over to FAMU, guess what? He picked Eric Dooley as the next head coach at Prairie View. And then when he left Prairie View, he came over to Jackson State in 2019. Guess what? He been in Texas for this many years. You know who he called up there? He called Deion.
Yep,
Deion
sure did.
was smoking in the high school ranks. Deion wasn't even a head coach at a high school when his
Sure
son was
was.
there. He was an offensive coordinator. You know who his head coach was? The head coach was Andre Hart. The head
So
coach
he
was
no
Andre
talent. He
Hart.
no talent.
And he no talent. And guess what? When he got the job at Jackson State, guess what? He awarded Andre with a chance to be a coordinator at a Division One. I don't care. You can say FCS, whatever. It's still a Division One school for a Division One school.
But Doc, I'm looking at a lot of the chat. People think we're hating. We're not hating on Coach Prime whatsoever. You know what? We respect what he's done. You know what I mean? As far as like that, we're just having a debate and talking to him because this is the debate show that we're doing. The thing is this, you know, they're saying, well, Coach Prime do what he's supposed to. Coach Prime did a phenomenal job. You know what I mean? Not counting the spring season, he never lost a SWAC game. Shador never lost a SWAC game, period. They're 13-0. All kudos. If you want to give them flowers for that, 100% you give them flowers. It is what it is. But you see,
Well, you know what?
Side, but on the other
If
side, hold on. We got
let
to
me say
talk the
this.
truth.
Hold fast, Elijah.
Go ahead, Elijah.
If Coach Prime would have waited and did 13-0 a few more years, them people would have been so up to get him out of Jackson State. They would have offered him an SEC job.
They would have been sick.
They would have offered him. He would have gotten one of the main jobs. They would have thrown away one of them good coaches to get him out of the SWAC and offer him an SEC job. You got to think on your feet when you're dealing with these folks. If they want me this bad, just think if I keep going, then they will offer me what I want. Don't take crumbs. You got to take the whole cake. Right now they're feeding you crumbs.
Well, that's a problem with us people. We accept crumbs and not taking a loaf.
But see, and that's exactly what I was gonna say to you, Brian, to your comment right before Elijah. You know, you gotta understand the people of today's time where I just say the trend is to um label real talk as hating in today's time, truth as hating. You know, ultimately this thing was supposed to transform the whole outlook and results that HBCUs put out. You know, not saying that the ball gonna stop, not saying that the momentum is going anywhere, but it did cause a shift. You know, I'm not saying that to y'all, but I'm saying that to the people at large. You know, and it just goes back to what I was saying earlier, where you still have a multitude of people that still feel like the grass is greener on the other side, opposed to sticking to their own.
until you
Every
mow the lawn.
nation of every nation of people stick to their own. We the only ones that congratulate our people to go for going to somebody else's house. That's all I got, man.
No, you're 100% right. And this is the thing. It's like, but the thing overall, what are we teaching our young leaders? What are we teaching them? As soon as we get to a certain level, you got to jump ship. And the thing is also is not like this. You're so right. You could imagine the offers. You see, first here, let's do retrospect. The first thing, when they got Travis Hunter, he went from a number one recruit to a number one recruit within 24 hours. Then all of a sudden, you know what I mean? FSU burns and starts, and they get in a square and they start burning his jerseys. They burn, you know what I mean, Coach Prime's jerseys. So they do this. So all of a sudden, what happens? Fears. Nick Saban throws out there. Oh, well, he's talking about this, talking to his boosters. Oh, I heard Jackson State gave Travis Hunter $1 million. So they're throwing not only doubt, they're throwing fear into it. Throwing it out there. Had no reason to say that. But you know what? Everything is purposeful. So what happens is when you lie enough, people will believe the lie. So also, beside the lie, there becomes fear like we're all saying. So what Coach Prime is getting, 5 stars, the number one recruit. Other 5 stars are talking about going to JSU. The kids from Texas A&M didn't like what's going on with Jimbo Fisher, maybe thinking about Coach Prime. We can't have that. You know what? Somebody offered him a bag. Let's see if he'll take the bait. And unfortunately, he did.
Hey, I'm gonna go back. Let's get back into. I know most everybody watched the game today. What do you think? How do you feel about the defense that you saw tonight? How do y'all feel about the defense y'all saw tonight? Because
I don't really blame the defense.
Was that?
Who's that speaking?
That was Elijah.
You know what he told the kids, y'all? He told them that he said that God Prob something else. Prob said that God shifted. He know God. And he know when God shifts. He told them that he said that just because he going to Colorado don't mean that he ain't gonna affect the lives of black men, because anywhere you go, 70% of the players is black. Then he said that what he said? He said that the culture, I'm about to rewind and listen to it again. But come on, Prime. Prime something else, man. But he told the players don't enter the portal because they get caught up in the portal.
Yeah,
and he said he gonna talk to some of the players.
In the portal, you have almost like 8,000 kids in the portal. So, and if you're not getting picked up by anybody from any school, and if you don't have no type of tape or anything like that, they're not picking you up. They're not getting you out of that portal. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, it is best for you to. It is best for those kids, majority of those kids, to stay at the school. Do what you do. All you do, just stay at the school, do what you do, man. Look, have a successful season for the next season, okay? But then right now, you shouldn't even have to worry about all this stuff right now. And I know it came at a time where you just won the championship for the conference. But the thing about it is, you now have to think about what's the mission at hand. The mission at hand is to win the Black National Championship. How you do that? You win a Celebration Bowl. You go to Atlanta, you win. You play North Carolina Central University, and you win, and you beat them. You become champions of all of HBCU football. That's including two in NAIA. So you just have to be focused. You got 2 weeks. 2 weeks to get yourself focused and to try to play that game. I'm gonna say it just like this. Certain people don't want to. You don't want to sit out. Like Aubrey Miller, I would not sit out of the Celebration Bowl. Why? Because of the simple fact that that's tape on you that you will have, and you can use that as leverage to make sure that you can get higher. Plus, also playing in the Senior Bowl because you did get invited to the Senior Bowl. Plus, any other all-star game that you can play in, it will better your chances for the NFL draft. Plus, if you get the invite to the actual NFL Combine, like you said, that's in Indianapolis, and show what you can do, show that you belong, and you know what I'm saying, you belong on the same field with the others, with these other linebackers that can't come from a PWI, and ball your ass off. That's all you got to do. That's it. That's all. That's all you got to do is to ball. Do what you've been doing and ball your ass off.
Hey Doc, he said that the reason why he's leaving is because 5 black coaches have been fired in the FBS, and he taking the job because he feel like he want to put a black coach in the FBS and be successful. This is what he just told the team, man. And Anthony Robinson looking at him like he's sleepy, man. Come on, man. Come on, Prime. Come on, Prime.
I'm gonna see if I can get some more people that want to come in and voice their opinions or anything about that.
Yeah, Doc, I was just watching the video there with Coach Prime saying he's leaving and stuff like that. Ashley Robinson's like sitting beside him like a man that's lost at the moment. You know what I mean? It's like, he said, he's going to coach the Celebration Bowl. But if I'm Ashley Robinson, I said, Coach, thank you very much for everything that you've done. You're 13-0, but an interim coach. Coach.
But yeah, man, I'm gonna just say it like this on the real.
Would you let him coach? Would you let him coach?
Would I let him coach? I wouldn't let him coach. If you already taking the job, I mean, if you take my whole thing is it's up to Coach Prime if he wants to coach in the Celebration Bowl.
No, it's up to Ashley Robinson.
And it's up. What I'm saying is, it's up to Ashley Robinson. Really, Ashley Robinson is going to say it's up to Coach Prime if he want to coach the Celebration Bowl. Now, should he coach in the Celebration Bowl? We don't know. I don't know. I can't say that he. I can't say yay or nay. I can't say yay or nay. Would it be right if he coached in the Celebration Bowl? No, it wouldn't be right because you're going to have a lot of people
looking at you.
Why you here in the first place? Remember, you left us. You left us, right? That's the first thing people are going to say. You left us. So that's one thing that people are going to do. And then another thing we're going to do is going to be like, okay, well, you're coaching, but are you really here for the team or are you just here for yourself?
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah. That's a good point, Doc.
I'm just putting out pointers out there. I'm not saying it's gonna happen or anything like that. I'm just putting out pointers like, about what could happen.
Yeah,
Now,
and Doctor's so right, because I think what by him coaching, if they lose, it's going to be safe, because you know what, they weren't focused. If they, you know what I mean, whatever happens, I just think it's really right now, in my opinion, and I hate to use the word, but it is a distraction.
I mean, I'm gonna answer this guy question right here.
What are you saying?
Whatever his name is. Yes, if you think that he don't, the kids don't want him to coach, I'm crazy. But the whole thing is, now if it's up to AD Robinson, he has no say in that. He has no say. He don't even have a say if his son is going to be playing in the game, because technically he's still on the football team. And if Shador not gonna play, that's a real bad look on Jackson State right there. That's a real bad look right on the football team.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad look on Jackson State. It's a bad look on Coach Prime.
Right. It will be a bad look on him. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna say it just like this. If you really think about it, when coaches get new jobs that are playing in bowl game, and the team that they just coached, they're playing in the bowl game. Most coaches don't coach in the bowl game. Most of them are going to the new school that they just got hired on to.
Yeah, they don't coach in that big game.
They're not going to coach in that big game. And I'm not saying that he's not going to do it. I'm just saying if you look at it, you know what I'm saying, from the standpoint of how, of just looking at previous coaches. Like, for example, I'm going to give you an example. Brian Kelly. When Brian Kelly knew he was getting ready to go to LSU, he did not coach Notre Dame in a damn bowl game. He was already gone to Baton Rouge.
But you remember Kirby Smart did. Kirby Smart coached at Alabama and Georgia. He was at both of them.
He was at both of them.
Yeah, he was at both of them.
But that's more like because remember, he was a coordinator at Alabama. Yeah. And then we got to Georgia, then, you know what I'm saying?
He was the head coach.
Right. No, but he didn't get the head. He didn't. I think they let Mark Richt coach one last game. They didn't.
Okay.
Kirby Smart didn't coach in that bowl game. He just played. He just coached as a D coordinator for Alabama. For Alabama. He got introduced as the next head coach for Georgia, like right afterwards. So,
man.
And that's true, Bill. That's true. Most coaches' number one QB ain't their son. That is true. That is very true, y'all. But the thing about it,
I wonder how the kids gonna do. I wonder how them boys gonna do.
That's all it is. Because you know what my whole thing was today about the game was, how are the kids going? How is their mindset if they didn't know if it was going on? But I knew most of them knew what was going on.
Yeah, they knew.
Their mindset about what's about to transpire. That's it. And they went out there and they proved out there on the field that they don't care what's going on right now. They're out there to play a football game. That's it. They out there to play a football game. Nothing else. Their job, their main goal is to go out there and play the football game, to win the game and move on to the next. That's it. That's it. But it's over 400 people on the stream, man, and it's most that I ever had on this show tonight. On the show since I started this podcast. But man, make sure y'all hit that like button, y'all hit it and share it with your people. and subscribe. I'm trying to get this channel monetized. And I'm gonna put this disclaimer out there for everybody. If people think that I started this podcast because of the wave of Coach Prime, no sir, no ma'am. That's not how I get down. I started this because I have an affinity and a love for HBCU sports and the culture. So
yes, sir. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing when it's done, when you get it correctly. Okay. I have an affinity for HBCU culture and the sports and everything that goes along with it. I was not jumping on the Prime bandwagon like some people, some YouTubers on here that have done that. Now, did I take advantage of the stuff that was going on at my school and start, covering stuff for my school and everybody else? Yes. I have. Yes, I am I am and I ain't gonna say I'm at fault about that. I think that was the best thing that I had done. And I'm gonna be like Aubrey Miller. This shit don't stop. Y'all think this because Coach Prime gone to Colorado that my show is gonna stop going because of the simple fact that he gone? No. I built this shit from the ground up. I wasn't even talking about Jackson State like that. If you look at my videos, I was talking about a lot of other subjects on my videos.
Hey, Doc.
What's up?
Mr. Ford?
Yeah.
Do American Airlines still stay with Jackson State?
That's a good question.
I think they should. I don't think nobody should. I don't, just because he gone, I don't think nobody should even should relinquish their sponsorships to nothing. It wouldn't be fair to these kids right here.
Yeah.
That's my whole thing. It wouldn't be fair to these kids, to these athletes that put in the work, that you're gonna yank the sponsorships from them. I don't think you do that. What's going on, JD? Tell me what you think, man. Go on and voice your opinion about the game and what do you think about what's going on now. Turn your camera on. I mean, turn your microphone on. Can you hear me? Say something? Because I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Jump back off and jump off and jump back on. Well, I think I hear you now. Say something.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. What's going on, man? Welcome to the show.
Yeah, man. I'm new to the show. I'm a former HBCU athlete. It's a bittersweet thing. I agree with you with the coaching. Like, I mean, it's kind of up in the air if he should coach or not. Football is an emotional game. I mean, they actually did good today. They went out and played good football today. Only because I think it was just hearsay. I mean, a lot of the kids, they probably did know. Of course, his sons knew what was going on, but football is an emotional game, and nowadays kids are more sensitive more than ever. So even if you do coach the game, maybe their mental might not be in it because they might feel as though you gave up on us, you quit on us. You could have did this after the Celebration Bowl was over with. But I mean, he did a lot of good things for HBCUs. He did a lot of things for of course, for Jackson State. For the HBCU community, it is bittersweet even. And then for the Jackson State fans and for the HBCU fans in general, is some of them are angry and outraged, and I was just on YouTube. That's how I just kind of found out about this was live. It seemed like the media outlets are more excited for him, going to Colorado than they ever was for him going to Jackson State, in my opinion. So I mean, that's
right.
I got more to say on the topic, but that's just what I got for right now. But
no.
It didn't.
What school you went to?
Huh?
What school did you go to?
I went to St. Aug in North Carolina Central.
Okay. Oh, so you're an Eagle. You're an Eagle and a
for
Falcon.
sure. Yep. So
All right.
So yeah, man, and then for Travis Hunter's standpoint, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's gonna follow him to Colorado as well. But and I think a lot of what the HBCU community is a little upset because when he got hired, he was talking about God called me to be here at Jackson State, and he went on I Am Athlete podcast telling them, if you don't got to go to the Georgias, the Alabamas, these Power 5 schools, you come to Jackson State and you get a real sense of the culture. And this, and just saying, how these kids haven't got a fair opportunity, and it just seems like, he, like I said, in his 2 years, he did a lot of good stuff, but it just seemed like, if I was a player, I'm just talking about if I was a player, like, you just talked about how you wanted to change the culture and lay in the playing field. And as soon as you got the opportunity, you left. And we knew he wasn't going to stay long. I honestly thought he was going to leave after his sons left. I didn't think he was going to leave after 2 seasons. But that's what I initially thought, But yeah, that's what I got for right now. But I'm just staying on the listener.
No, you good. So give me your if you watched the game tonight, give me your outtake about how you felt about the game and what the temperature was at the game.
I didn't watch the game. I didn't have no way of watching the game, so I don't know. I just kept checking the score, and I seen they was beating them pretty bad. So I know, they, as far as this game, they mind was in it because they're going to the Celebration Bowl. So I feel as though the way they when I kept checking the score, it was pretty bad at one point. So I know as a team they was definitely in it. But going into this next game, this championship game, a game that they lost last year to a team that they didn't think they was going to lose to. And my old school gonna be in the Celebration Bowl. That's crazy, North Carolina Central. So now they got like a week or two to process it. Maybe practice might not even be the same. When these next couple weeks. Like I said, man, football is an emotional game, and now kids are more sensitive more than ever now. So you mix them two, and it might be a terrible combination. I'm not saying Jackson State gonna go out there and lose, but they might not play like them normal selves, and then again, they just might go out with a bang. You never know.
Okay.
But that's
he
what
just told the player, "Hey Doc," he just told the player because he said he heard he told him in his little when he was talking. He said that he had heard that a lot of players saying that if he leave, they going into the portal.
Yeah.
And he told him like, don't go into the portal because you ain't gonna do nothing but hurt yourself. And then he told him like, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be on TV watching us win the Celebration Bowl. And then R.B. Miller, he gave the players a chance to talk. And R.B. Miller told the players that, do it for me. He's told the players, like, I came back for another year. He told the players to do it for him. Because he said he cried last year when they lost the Celebration Bowl.
He did. He knew he was mad about that. That was their chance to win that game right there.
You know what? That's the leader that R.B. Miller is. And I love to see them winning for that point. But I was watching Coach Prime's interview just now with Ashley Robin beside him and saying that God, God shifts. God don't shift. When God gives you a purpose, he gives you a purpose, and it's up to us to follow the purpose that God has for us. So you know what? To coach to invoke that, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm a Coach Prime fan, but when he invokes that, I lost a little bit of respect for him. He can do what he wants. He's a free man, a free thinker as far as like that. He can go, you know what I mean, and do what he feels. He said he's still trying to do for the African Americans as far as like that. But the thing is, you go after 2 years. You know what I mean? Your son didn't graduate. You're trying to elevate HBCUs. If Shador gets drafted in the first or second round from Jackson State, it's more palatable to people to put a spotlight on that. Then now he goes to Colorado and gets drafted. God knows where he gets drafted. You know what I mean? Hopefully the kid does well. So, you know what? It's like you say one thing, but you're doing another thing per se. So, his credibility to me is flawed. It's definitely flawed. Like, I'm not being a hater. I'm just speaking facts. I'm speaking truth.
No, you're speaking facts for sure.
What he did for Jackson State is incredible. A historic season for Jackson State. You know what I mean? That is, and that, you know what? It might not ever be duplicated. Give him the flowers. But to leave the way he's leaving, it's a little bit suspect when you say one thing, say that God called you and you picked up the phone, collect, and all of a sudden God made you. What Jesus are you listening to? The black Jesus or white Jesus? You know what I mean? This is the thing that I'm saying. So if whatever you're listening to is fine, but you can invoke a spiritual component and say God shifted. Because God doesn't shift. God stays true, and it stays poignant. You know what I mean? You look at any example of the Bible. I'm not going to get biblical, but I'm saying any point in the Bible, you all know what I'm talking about. He stays poignant. He don't shift. We shift.
Man, I'm gonna say it just like this. I just seen something from a boy Kobe. He runs the Blitz City podcast. It's starting right now. The wave is just started. Robert Lockhart, the wide receiver that committed earlier this year to Jackson State, he just announced that he committed. So the recruiting is about to be the floodgates is about to open. BK, what's going on, man? Tell me, give me your opinion about the game, and give me your opinion about like what's going on with this climate right now.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, how's everybody? So I'm a former HBCU athlete. I played at Morgan State back in the 90s. So representing the MEAC. So I'm MEAC. I'm not SWAC.
Hey, I'll cover it all, man. I cover everything.
No, I hear you. I hear you. I think, from a big picture standpoint, you have to be excited for Prime to get the opportunity, because we don't have a lot of opportunities, especially, in the 5 major conferences. So from that standpoint, definitely you have to do what you have to do and what's best for you. From an HBCU standpoint, it's disappointing, but at the same time, I think that now it's time for us to come together as a collective. He laid a blueprint. Now, no one is Prime, so we can't go the same exact thing that he did. But from a big picture standpoint, he showed how to be, get more active in social media, get more active in the businesses and within your community, bringing them in. I know me going to Morgan State, one of the things that we talk about on a regular basis is we got to get more into communities, bringing the high schools in, getting more with the business, getting them more involved, especially being up north in a major city of Baltimore. So it's a little bit different than being in the South, but at the end of the day, a blueprint has been set. Now it's time for us to take our business acumen and say, okay, how can we duplicate this in a way that we can do this collectively? Because we can't do this by ourselves because we're not Prime. And then secondly, how can we get some of these other individuals who didn't go to HBCUs, who have kids or who are in your circle, and say, hey, you know what? One of your 5 visits, just go to a HBCU and check it out. That's how it starts. So the thing is, it's up to us at this point in time. We can't dwell, because at the end of the day, we all have families, we all have our own purpose. And I've lived around the country and I've taken different jobs, for more money. It's taken me from being in the DMV area and going all the way. Now I'm here in Texas, in Houston. And at the end of the day, I went because it was a better opportunity to make more money, and it's put me in a better position, not only for myself, but for everybody from generations moving forward.
Okay, BK, I got to ask you a question since you mentioned that. But you're doing it for yourself, correct?
No, I'm not doing it just for myself. I'm doing it for my family. I'm doing it for the people. I have people who come to me all the time, who are friends, who are family, who come and say, okay, I see what you are doing. Can you help me? So I'm putting the idea in their mind and saying, okay, you know what? There's opportunities out here that we just weren't that familiar with.
Okay, so here's I understand
Correct.
what you're saying, and bless you on that. But Coach Prime has always said, money won't change his lifestyle one iota. That's what he said. I didn't say that. That's what he said. He also said he want. Hold on. He also said he wanted to level the playing field. That's what he said. That's not what I said. So what he has done in HBU Spare has been phenomenal and great. I give him all the kudos that is out there. But the thing is, when you invoke a spiritual component and then change the narrative from one thing to another, this is why people get upset. Right?
Let me answer that.
Go
okay.
ahead.
So first, he also said if there's other opportunities, I'm going to look. You know, when he interviewed at TCU last year, he said, "I'm going to look."
Yep.
No, but he did. Did he interview at TCU when he was in the hospital or not?
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. So he said, "I was going to look." On College Game Day, they asked him. He said, "I'm going to look." On 60 Minutes, he said, "I'm going to look. If they come to me, I'm going to entertain it."
And there's nothing wrong with entertaining an offer. You know, you're supposed to, as a business person, you're supposed to entertain offers. That's how it goes. You know, I'm a businessman, so I understand that, and I have changed different positions, like you were just mentioning. But the thing is, what I'm saying is, when you go into a household and you talk about go to a Travis Hunter and say, you know what, you come here, I want you to be the change, and the young man commits because he wants to be a change agent, and then all of a sudden you go to, if he would have went to an Auburn or even went to his old Guatemala, Florida State, or something predominant, but you're going to a crappy situation.
Right.
Colorado is trash.
Hold on
one sec. Paul Feinbaum said it was no good. Stephen A. said it was no good. Everybody that's a so-called expert in college atmosphere said it was not a good position.
Let me say this. I lived in Colorado. I lived in Denver. Boulder is right up the street. I've been to Boulder. In the 90s, we saw Boulder win a national championship. We saw McCarthy go. We saw McCarthy. In matter of fact, my high school football coach in Maryland was a grad assistant on that national championship. So he came and invoked a lot of Colorado into our program in high school. And one of the things that we know for sure is McCarthy recruited a lot of those kids based upon religion, because because post his career at Colorado, he went into the ministry, and he talked about, they said, how did you get those black kids to go to Colorado? And he talked about, again, going to the black moms and saying, I didn't even talk to the kids. I talked to the parents about religion and God and my faith. Now, at the end of the day, if Prime comes into these parents' households, especially, again, a lot of people are not doing very well financially, he go into their households and say, hey, look, at the end of the day, I'm here to basically help your child not only succeed on the football field, but in the classroom. I didn't get a chance to go to the league, but I worked my butt off to go and work in Silicon Valley, being one of the few black people in Silicon Valley, and working my way up to the point now I do my own thing. So the thing is, it's not, we got to get away from football. We got, if we're able to make it, that's great. But let's talk about, okay, you know what? The relationships and ultimately what you can do with that moving forward.
So here's what I'm saying. Okay, here's the other point that I always make.
Okay.
And so as a black man, we have to validate ourselves going to a white university.
We don't have to validate ourselves, but you know what? This is why I equate it to, and that's a great question. I'm glad you brought that up. As a kid, growing up in the DC area, there was a school called Georgetown with a black coach called John Thompson. And you know what? I thought that was an HBCU because he had nothing but black kids, Patrick Ewing.
I did too before. I thought Georgetown was too before. You ain't the only one.
Right. So the thing
I thought they were the HBCU too. I did too. I swear.
We had no clue,
In Michigan.
So with that, he invoked a sense of pride in all of us as kids. Because I had friends whose parents worked at Georgetown, and they wearing the Georgetown gear and all of this. And my mother worked at Howard. So the thing is, I had no clue, but at the same time, by John Thompson winning that national championship at Georgetown, it opened up the gates for the Nolan Richardsons and the John Cheneys and other individuals to get those jobs, that we didn't have the opportunity for. So I get it. I wish he would have stayed, but we're not gonna have no more Eddie Robinsons on that level anymore. This is a different time, different stage.
Hey, BK, I've been saying that for the longest. Like the older generation, I'm talking about the older fans, the older HBCU fans have to get out of the mindset that we're going to bring back a Eddie Robinson or Marino Chasm, or a WC Gordon. And if you think about it on the PWI perspective, a Bobby Bowden, a Joe Paterno,
Right.
or you know what I'm saying, even a Tom Osborne when he was at University of Nebraska. We're not going to have these coaches there anymore. We don't have these coaches there anymore. They are revered. Like, we're not going to have no Paul Bear Bryants at Alabama anymore, but he is revered. And pretty much he's almost taking a back seat because Nick Saban has been doing the damn thing at Alabama since he's been there. So we're not in this we're not in this the generation of where we got people staying for 30, 40, 50 years. We are in this microwave generation of where if you ain't winning in at least 3 years, you're out of there.
You're out of there. You're gone.
But
the thing was he is winning and was winning at Jackson State, and his thing is, we not to a certain degree. I think you're right. You're not gonna have coaches like that, but then it's to a certain degree, like winning is what keep the coaches there, because of course if Nick Saban was losing, he'd have been out of Alabama. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, somebody mentioned earlier, I want to circle back around this. Somebody said that I think, me personally, that a lot of people in the HBCU community are angry or upset about it or feel some type of way about it because, like somebody said, it's Colorado. Like, Colorado hasn't really had anybody recently that's, their program hasn't been good as a recent. I mean, they have a Heisman Trophy as Rashawn Salah, rest his soul, Cordero Stewart, but those were there in the mid 90s. This is 2022. Like,
how many Hall of Famers do they got?
Who knows? Jackson State probably got more Hall of Famers than Colorado.
Exactly.
Byron Wizard White, he's a Hall of Famer.
So they got one.
I'm a football fanatic when it comes to it. So Byron Wizard White is a Hall of Famer.
If the job would have been at a better university with more history or something like that, then I think people would probably feel at ease about it. And then, to some people, it just felt as though maybe
it's desperation.
But you know what? One thing
at the end of the day, like I can see, like I said, I'm an HBCU athlete and went to school at HBCUs myself. So I'm looking at it from that perspective. I'm looking at it from both sides, and how I would feel is though, you just got there 2 years ago to 2020, and it's like, you took the Jackson State job because Florida State didn't want to hire you. They gave you opportunity that no college would give you at that time. You had your sons, you recruited big, you did good things. We can't deny that he changed HBCU culture, gave him a spotlight that nobody can ever get. It can't be duplicated, and it won't be. But it just seems like, I just feel as though that after his sons left, then people would have probably felt better. Like, all right, his son's not here no more. Like, you left in the middle of your sons being there. You already had one son that transferred from South Carolina to come to Jackson State. So then, like, what's his status going to look like? Yeah. Is he going to enter the portal? Then Shador, he decommitted from FAU to go to Jackson State. So now he got to go, transfer again. So it's like, I mean, and you got your daughter there playing basketball at Jackson State. But, to me, it was just like Colorado, like, they've been 1-10. Like, they've been at the bottom of the barrel. Like, name me a player from Colorado right now. I think Philip Lindsay from the practice squad from the Colts. Like, it's people said it wasn't a good job, but we could, it to me, it'd have been more prominent. If your son would have been a draft pick out of Jackson State, and people talk about his level of competition. My thing is this: if you can play football, you can play football. I don't care what the level of competition is. If it's D1 all the way to NAIA, if you can play football, you can play football. And my thing is this: people talk about these players that at these SEC schools, stuff like that. You gotta think about, like, if you a top player at these top schools, when they get some of these players, when they get to the league, they're not as good as we
They're
think they
garbage.
were in college. Because when you play with top talent, yeah, you may get you play with top talent, but sometimes it could be harm because what your deficiencies are being hit because you have other top talent around you. So when you get on a team where you being more exposed, this dude wasn't really that. That's how you have so many people in and out the NFL like that. But I mean,
You're a HBCU graduate, correct?
yes,
And you know what? You're a HBCU athlete, correct?
yes.
So the thing is this: if all our African American players went to HBCUs, Power Fives wouldn't be nothing because they wouldn't have a talent pool.
Well,
So what happened?
that was the case back in
And that was the case.
That was the case
until Alabama went to Southern California and got Cunningham. You know what I mean? So there's been a shift change. So it's been a reverence and also a revival, I would say, of when Coach Prime came there. The spotlight came on HBCUs. You know what I mean? The interest there was building and building. I knew he wouldn't be there for 10 years. You know what I mean? It's like Doc said, it's not like Coach Robinson that was there for 40 some odd years and plus, and these other great coaches. But the thing is, he was starting to build not only a legacy, he'll never have a legacy at Colorado or any place that he goes
for sure
that he would have had at Jackson State. You know what?
Because he will have less control. He's going to have less control. And my thing
I don't think
Colorado,
I see Snoop Dogg on the side.
He's going, like the antics and stuff that was at Jackson State won't really happen as much as Colorado. I don't even, celebrities probably might not even want to go to Colorado. I don't know, who knows. But the thing is like
they might be looking at Coach Prime a different way too.
And it could be because
one thing with Colorado, and one of the things recently I think that he chose this job over some of the others is because USC and UCLA are both going in 2024 to the Big Ten. Only other, Utah or Oregon are basically your only two places right now that you have to compete with.
And probably Cal too.
Yeah, but it's hard to get into Cal. Just because this
year.
It's hard to get in there. So the thing is, I think he looked at that and said, you know what? Maybe not next year, but in 2 years,
right?
Be ready, and USC, UCLA are gone.
No, Coach Prime looked at the $5 million that they're giving and another $5 million for his coaches. That's what he looked at.
Of course, that's part of
it. But you just see that this. I think it's inaccurate for us to say that he looks at this as other aspects of it, because the bottom line is, if he. There's a lot of speculation is a great thing when but it's only great when there's facts behind it. For the simple reason, Auburn was an opportunity, they didn't hire him. Nebraska was an opportunity, they didn't hire him.
But why would I go to those?
Hold on. Georgia Tech's an opportunity, they didn't hire him. Stanford was an opportunity, they didn't call him. So what team called him? A one in whatever team calls him. So you know what I mean? Great for him that he's taken the opportunity. I hope him all the best in the world. Don't get me wrong. I'm just stating facts. And the fact is, if he would have stayed another year, or when Shador leaves either next year or his senior year, he can probably get any job he wants in the SEC thing, not a trash conference that two teams are leaving next year, after next year.
Facts.
Right. So one thing you said, outside of Auburn, which would have been a great job, Georgia Tech. It's hard to get into Georgia Tech. So think about what Brian Kelly did. It's the reason Brian Kelly Notre Dame because of academics, and he said, "I'm going to LSU so I can get more athletes." Deion knows that Georgia Tech. The reason Georgia Tech should be one of the best programs in this country based upon where it's at, but it's hard to get into Georgia Tech. Plain and simple. Stanford, same.
Just same thing, right? It's Stanford. Yep, same thing.
So
if you look at it like this, But I'm saying, but if you look at it like this, the jobs that was out there, and we had went over them the other day, they was not the type of jobs that you would sit back and take. Like, you know what I'm saying? Tulsa, they let go the coach over at Tulsa. That wasn't a job that he would have took.
Right.
They let go like Hugh Freeze left Liberty to go to Auburn.
Yeah, Auburn was the best
Liberty,
option.
Auburn was the best option.
And they had
then
one of their
people
best
said
alumni, Charles Barkley, was promoting
Nebraska came into, and then when Nebraska came into play, people were saying, well, that's the best job to go to. Like people, like literally, like you had a dude, Zach Smith, on his podcast, and he was like, yeah, the deal is the deal was about to be signed that Deion was about to be the next head coach at Nebraska, and I was like, I call cap.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, bro, he's not going to Nebraska. That job is not going to be open for him. They knew who they would want to get. They knew who they wanted. They wanted Matt Rule to get to that job. That was not a job for him to take.
I agree.
My thing is this: I feel as though if he would have waited maybe a year or two at Jackson State, a better opportunity was going to come. My thing is this: even if he would have resigned from Jackson State, like willingly or whatever the case may be, it's Coach Deion Sanders. Like I don't care. Like he, to me, in my opinion, in my personal opinion, he in college football right now is nobody with a pedigree of notoriety. Of course, we're not talking about national champions. I'm just talking about of just the person that he is that can compete. Not even Nick Saban. I mean, yeah, not even Nick Saban. He's just known for just to be the Alabama football coach. I'm talking about just just the person that Deion Sanders is, Coach Prime is. So even if he would have waited like 2 or 3 years, a job was gonna open up. Coaches get fired every year. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Miami fan, and goddamn sure we need a coach. You know what I'm saying? And
Cristobal ain't doing the job. And guess who on staff there? Ed Reed.
And that would
Ed Reed name ain't ring a bell.
Yeah, I mean Miami. If this is like say Miami would open up, that'd been a great job because we have a hard time keeping that South Florida talent. And Coach Prime is from Florida. Like who knows? But to me it was like Colorado. Like that was that's.
The facilities at Colorado are
I just looked at it on YouTube. Very nice.
Yeah. And when you go, so when I moved to Colorado, I took a job out there, and I was like, oh, okay, you know what? But when I got out there, I was like, whoa. So I took a job because of my old manager out of Chicago hired me. So and I never been to Colorado before. So when you get out there, you your eyes do open up. It's a beautiful state, and the facilities are awesome, and he can do wonders out there. So I just think that with USC and UCLA leaving next year after 2024, the Pac-12 or whatever it's going to be called is going to be wide open. It gives him a great opportunity. Yeah. He's going to be able to get some of those kids out of California to come to Colorado because it's not far from home. And ultimately, I think that he has an opportunity to really, get into that playoff.
Yeah, I mean,
he ain't getting in the playoffs in the next 3 years.
Yeah, I don't think.
Now, BK, I'm gonna say it like this. I'm gonna say it like this. Yeah, I'm gonna say it like this. When they get the kids to Colorado, when they get to Boulder, it is the responsibility of the young man that comes there to make sure that he does not get himself in trouble.
Yeah,
why?
Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah, Deion figures. Majority of the team we was talking about, the 1990 the national championship team, most of them dudes got in trouble. Probably for something real small. Mike Richard.
All those brothers going up there with those white women gonna be in trouble.
Yeah. That for sure. That is risky.
And weed is legalized in Colorado as well.
And weed is legalized up there too.
True.
So
it's like BK. It's not that Colorado's a bad place. It's not. I had ex-team. I played professional hockey. Ray Bork played up there and won a Stanley Cup championship. beautiful place up in Colorado. And, I've been to Colorado, and I'm not saying it's not nice at all. I would say that I looked at the facility is phenomenal. Phenomenal facility. But my point is always this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? And Doc was saying, Mr. Ford said, Coach Prime went for the ugly girl.
Mm.
And you know what? At 12 o'clock, she's not turning into Cinderella. So,
but I looked at it from a perspective too, though. I think that even though I never been in Colorado, I did just like probably an hour ago. Just everybody was talking about Colorado facilities, so I wanted to go see what it looked like for myself on the YouTube, and it was a very nice facility. And I had also thinking too, he wants to turn Colorado similar as far as like the program, how he found Jackson State not very good. Dominate, because Coach Prime, he don't want to win, he want to dominate, and it's a difference between the two, so maybe he wants to turn this 1-10 school that nobody's talked about since the Heisman Trophy winner Cordell Stewart into a powerhouse, because he's going to get recruits. That's just the bottom line. Like, he's going to get recruits, even though. So that's what I
JD,
think.
let's put it on right here. Okay, and this is always, we're going to do a pure speculation here, hypothetical. What do you think his record would be next year?
Next year I'll probably give him maybe 3 to 4 games.
Yeah,
he might win 3.
I agree with that.
I give him 3 to 4.
But look at this way.
Go ahead, BK.
Yeah, I was gonna say last year USC only won 4 games last year.
Yeah, but Shedeur going to play, USC and UCLA, and them schools is not Texas Southern.
Right. No, what I'm saying is though, but they were able to pull a lot of people from the portal to USC. Again,
right.
And I lived in California too, so I know it's a big difference between California and Colorado as far as this lifestyle. But what I'm saying is
football.
I can see about 5 games.
I can't see 5.
Hey, hey, can I say something though? I got this. Since we got on the subject about USC, what did Lincoln Riley do at the CFP? What did he do? He ran off to go to USC, and he put it on his wife, saying that she wanted to live the lifestyle. That was the selling point of him going to USC. And guess what? It ain't his son, but it's almost the same thing that you see. Caleb Williams went directly with him.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you think about it, think about this. Jordan Addison entered the transfer portal from Pittsburgh. He went and picked him out. Like, it, to me, what you saying about USC, what happened when Lincoln left, because I feel like and a lot of people talk. I'm gonna tell you like this. I talk to a lot of people that's Oklahoma fans that come in my store. By the way, shout out to Liz, job right there. But I talk to a lot of people that's from Oklahoma that's Sooner fans. They said this is what they said out their mouth. They said that Lincoln Riley, the reason why he went to Southern Cal was because he knew when Texas and Oklahoma gets into the SEC, he would not have the same type of winning that he saw when he was in the Big 12. When they was in the Big 12, and remember they going into the ACC in 2024. The OU in Texas, but I feel like they say he ran out. I think you got to.
You're breaking up.
So he ran out.
He ran away.
BK.
He ran away before. Right.
He ran away from the competition, and that's what I'm saying. He ran away for the competition. So now it's like, okay. Now you went to USC and you built them back up to national prominence. Guess what? Guess what's about to happen another 2 years? You about to go play Ohio State and Michigan.
Yeah, but it'll
every
be
year.
prepared because they got a couple of years.
No. This is his first year at USC.
This year was his first year. What's the record this year?
This is his first year at USC.
Yeah,
what I'm saying is, in 2 more years, 2 more years, he's about to go play in the big. They about to go move to the Big Ten.
Yeah, but what's his record this year?
They won 9 to 10 games this year.
Exactly. So you win 9 to 10 games. It gives you that much more recruiting prowess because you know what you're already proved. So you can see it's like putting money in the bank. It's you're saving because if he won 3 games, it's hard to recruit. You win 9 games and you're relevant. It's easier to recruit, especially in that Southern California market. Especially when you got what's the name? Keyshawn Johnson. That's a USC grad, and always promoting Reggie Bush. You got these guys. So you know what? Now that it's a winning program, so when it's a winning program, it's easy to recruit because of the story franchise that they've been. So the thing is, but he brought his quarterback, a quarterback that came from an FBS, so he was accustomed to that. Shador's going from the FCS to the FBS, and you know what? And if they don't, all depends what happens in the portal, like you guys are saying. All depends on what happens in that portal, because if Shador only wins 3 or 4 games, his draft stock doesn't look as good.
I don't think so. I think even if he wins 3 or 4 games, it depends on how he plays during the season.
That is true. Performance.
It depends on. He can win 3 or 4 games, but he can lose 7 games. But it depends on I think the scouts, in my opinion, they would look at they say he spent 2 years at FCS. How did he fare against FBS competition? Even though it was a step up, it's not like he stepped down; it's a step up. So even if let's just say he throw for 2,000 yards, that to them that's still good enough. He can throw for 2,000 yards and 18 touchdowns, and they would say, okay, well that's good enough. I don't know.
If he does that in his junior year, he's definitely have to play as a senior.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. He won't be able to leave after next year. He had to leave 2024 or whatever.
Yeah.
Nah, you right. And I'm gonna say it like this. My boy Mario put it in there. He said Deion gonna do it. He gonna win the way he gonna win, and he gonna build his team the way he did it when he was here at Jackson State. 70% of the portal, 20% of JUCO, and 10% of high school kids.
No, Jackson State was 40, 20.
Yeah, 40-20. But what I'm saying is, but you got 85 scholarships, and you probably got about over 100 kids. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna you're trying to build up that program. That you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that he's gonna do bad or anything like that. You gotta build up the program. But it's all about how these boosters and the administration is. If they cannot be too damn impatient, because it takes time, especially if you had a 1-11 season. It takes time to build that up, to build up that team. It's not going to be the microwave that you've seen when he came to Jackson State. Somebody got a echo. It's not when he came to Jackson State and he did it within a year or two. Because luckily, remember, say he had the COVID year, and he realized in the spring what his talent was, and so what he did, it was just open trial to him, and so even though it was an actual football, season, it was open trial to him. So he did what he just did, and he had to clear out the mess. Now, if he gets to Colorado, what he's gonna do? I think he's gonna clear out. It's have to kind of start all over. But will it translate to the success that he had at Jackson State? The only thing is we do not know about that.
I agree with you. But this is my only advocate. This is my only
2 years to build his program. After his 2 years, then they'll reevaluate.
Yeah, I agree with what you said, Doc. My thing is, it was so much faster to build it up at Jackson State because it wasn't really too much to build up. It was only nowhere but to go up. And then on top of that, like Jackson State don't have no money. Like these, like Colorado, these boosters, they gonna have some money. And it's like white people with money,
Right.
they gonna want to win now. They gonna
Yeah,
win.
right.
They going to win today. They don't want to hear. They're not going to hear 2-3 years. It take time. They like,
No.
oh, this dude did this at Jackson State. They're gonna have that same mentality. Like, oh, well, you did this at Jackson State, you could do this for us. But they not realizing Jackson State don't have no money that y'all had. They, you know what I'm saying? They don't have the scholarship opportunities y'all had. So it was easier to build that up. You know,
And
these boosters are gonna be sending hundreds of millions of dollars to Colorado. They can say, man, I'm spending money on this program. We need to be, reaping our benefits.
hey, JD, and Deion got the smile for those white people.
Yeah, yeah, but but what the white people ain't gonna have a smile for him, because white people they ain't
So
they brutal.
Who do you think is going to be his coaching staff that he's bringing from JSU?
I don't know. I don't really think he brings.
Flea, you got Flea. I played against him in college.
Yeah, Flea might stay at Jackson State, man, because he an HBCU legend though.
Yeah, he is. He is HBCU. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, man. Maybe the OC Bartolomeo. I don't know.
I think Bartolomeo's going with him. From what I heard, they said they're going to turn him into
analysis.
An analyst, which
yeah.
I don't think that's right. If you're going to try to get him a shot, you call that man all the way from Colorado. I'm not Colorado, but from Nevada. And he drove down there. You gave him a shot as an OC because Mike Leach gave you the recommendation for him. And you're going to turn him into an analyst, an offensive analyst? No.
But you know
if I'm Barcelona, I'll stay at Jackson State.
No, listen. He's you know what? We give credit. Barlane done a good job, but he's been suspect. He's been suspect, especially today's game. You're up, and all of a sudden you're still, you know what I mean? You're playing a rushed offense. You're playing a hurry up offense. You know what I mean? You're not letting the clock go down under 10 seconds, then hiking the ball, and then you're passing the ball when you're up, and when you have a 1,000-yard rusher. You know what I mean? You call a fact a fact. The truth is the truth, and he's been suspect. And the last four games, the offense has been ordinary.
Yeah, but you can make them type of mistakes when you at that type, at that program and coaching at that level. You can, especially when you that dominant. You can let your foot off the gas, and in my opinion, you can do that. But at FBS, you can't do that. Like I just watched this TCU game and cannot figure out why in the hell TCU didn't just quarterback sneaking into the end zone. But like you like you said, that game plan at Colorado, even though he's got to face USC and UCLA and them schools before they dip out. I don't know. He is see. I mean, he should give him a shot at OC since he brought it from Jackson State. He should give him a shot, but I think the first year of Colorado, like I said, it's gonna be the year where Deion is trying to figure it out. Who my OC gonna be, what the. To me, in my opinion, it's gonna be more about the coaching staff than it is about the players. You gotta
100%.
Gotta get that right first.
The only way you keep the OC for continuity.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna be that first year. Gonna be more about the coaching staff than it is about the players. He's gonna try to get the best players that he can get in. But then year two is all right.
I'm looking at their schedule for next year, and they got TCU, Nebraska, Colorado State, Arizona State, Arizona, Oregon, Stanford, USC, Oregon, UCLA, and Utah. So
what is the most brutal?
That's a brutal schedule.
So right now, the only games that you can possibly see, Nebraska's a toss-up right now.
In Tulsa, is the Tulsa game a cupcake game supposed to be? Who the cupcake team?
They don't have no cupcake. Their cupcake is Colorado State and TCU.
And that's a rivalry game right there.
Right.
Yeah, them rivalry game.
Colorado, yeah. So they have no cupcakes on the schedule next year.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
He won't be going like he won't be going.
Colorado State is
he won't be going
strong
for
team in the Mountain West.
FCS.
Yeah, it's a brutal schedule next year. I mean, you got quite a few programs going through. I mean, Arizona State, they're going to be, they're going through a rebuild, new coach. Nebraska, new coach.
Cal gonna have a new coach. Stanford gonna have a new coach.
Yeah, but they're gonna have a new coach, but the players gonna have experience.
Look at this too, because even
the only ones gonna have TCU with coaches.
I mean, TCU, playoffs today, and they won 3 or 4 games last year too.
TCU,
they fired
last year.
They fired.
Yeah, they fired Gary Patterson early in the season, though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
they fired him.
But what I'm saying is, though, with this portal, it could turn around quick. That's what I'm saying, because now, as of today, they're playing for playoffs. That's what I'm saying. It turns around quick.
Yeah, it do, but it's different when you got a coach that's coming from FCS. You got a quarterback coming from FCS. You got probably a coaching staff coming from FCS. Like them coaches, they didn't come from FCS. They was at other programs. So that's a little bit of advantage too. They know how the college that type of football works. They just, like he said, they fired their coach in the middle of the season, got it right, had some off season to get it right, learn the playbook, learn each other, learn the players, see what they got, use the portal, And
but their coach came from SMU last year, so I mean he was a new coach this year. It wasn't like he came in the middle of the season, So it changes quick. I think.
You talking about as far as TCU?
Huh?
You talking about part?
Yeah, I'm just using as an example that, I mean, again, Prime has a bigger name than all of these guys. Mm-hmm. And we've seen what has happened at USC. We've seen what happened at TCU. It can change pretty quick with this portal. Now, if it was no portal, this would be career suicide if it was no portal.
Right.
But because there's a portal, his name, his personality. One of the questions I have is, Colorado is a Nike school. He's a Under Armour guy.
Mm-hmm.
How is that going to all work out?
Well, in my opinion, I was thinking
they had to finalize that just like they did when he came to Jackson State.
But I don't think. I think Prime he gonna have to wear Nike because Colorado got a deal locked in, and they one of those schools that test stuff too. So they test like stuff that's the year prior coming out. So whatever come out in 2024, they already testing it out right now, or 23 or whatever. So I think the Nike contract in Colorado is bigger than whatever Coach Prime got going on. So, and then that means if you switch from Under Armour, then the whole school, all the athletics, volleyball, basketball, got to change. And I don't think Colorado, they're not going to. If I was Colorado, I wouldn't. I'm a Nike school. Yeah. So they got Nike the top brand. So I don't think.
Hey Doc, one question I have for you.
I'm talking about that AD. Go ahead.
Who outside of possibly Travis and Shador transferring and Coleman? I think those 3 for sure are transfers. Who else do you think? And ultimately, how would that impact the program? Because how many transfers are you potentially looking at?
If it was me, right now I'm looking at it. More likely, it will be Shador. It will be Travis. Shador and Travis are best friends, basically.
Yeah.
Kevin Coleman. Do I think he goes to Colorado? I don't know. But like you said, what you said before, the parents have the say so about where their child is going to go.
Yeah. I think Coleman enters the portal. I don't know if he goes to Colorado though, but I know I'm for sure know he gonna hit the portal. Like that's the reason he came to Jackson State for Prime. So I know he hitting the portal. I don't know if he goes to Colorado. I know for sure Travis gonna go.
Yeah, he gone.
But he gone. But
And then somebody talking about Dallas Daniels and Niles Gaddy will go. Now, Niles Gaddy, man, I just talked to him. We just talked to his dad the other day. I think his dad wants him to stay at Jackson. He wants him to stay at Jackson State. Dallas Daniels can't go nowhere because he was a grad transfer. So his college football career after the Celebration Bowl is over with.
Well,
He's
he
gonna
got
be
invited to the East West Shrine game.
yeah, it's done.
Yeah.
It was done regardless.
Shiloh is because he transferred already from South Carolina. Unless they grant him a waiver saying that he's transferring to Colorado, I don't think they will grant him a waiver. But my whole thing is Shiloh is entrenched in HBCU culture. That he loves Jackson State. If you want to talk about somebody from the Sanders family that loves Jackson State, Shiloh is the main person who loves Jackson State through and through. And you got to realize he is on schedule to graduate, I think, next year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think too because he's been to South Carolina, so he lived that PWI life, and he came to the HBCU life. He like, look, I'm here. I don't think he loves football. I think he likes it. I don't think he loves it to a point that I'm going to go with my father after this.
Right. And so I just feel like he'll stay at Jackson State. He might stay at Jackson State. We don't know. That's the whole thing. We do not know what the mindset of these kids going to be. I mean, and then again, when they sound about Shalimar, I mean, my whole thing is she is, to me, when I'm gonna say it like this. When you get to college, you are a young man or you're a young woman, and you are old enough and you are knowledgeable enough to make your own decisions whatsoever. And I feel like this. I think she don't need to go because you don't know what they'll do if she can be on the basketball squad up there at Colorado. I feel like she needs to stay at Jackson State. I mean, that would be the best decision because she's in the best hands with Coach Reed and the other coaches for the women's basketball team. Feel like she has a better chance of thriving at Jackson. Shador is always going to follow his father. Y'all ever seen Shador? Shador is going to follow his father. He going to follow his father from
A to C.
C to C. Yeah.
Right.
Travis is going to follow where Shador goes because they are best friends.
Mm-hmm.
Another person that might go, but I don't know if he would be Cameron Silman Craig, the safety. I don't know if he will go because him and Shador was teammates in high school,
right?
And they best friends.
Yeah,
I don't know if he will go. But the thing about it is, I mean, like when you go into schools like this, and especially from the South, you was raised in the South, it's not easy for your people to come see you if they wanted to. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Like just I'm just saying, for example, okay, Cam Simon Craig, people from Birmingham. Ain't no but like a 3.5 hour drive from Birmingham to Jackson to go see their kid play. Now you got to go talking about if he go, let's say he do transfer to Colorado. You talking about going cross country. You talking about going cross country to go see your son play. I don't think that that's the case, and I feel like that's the reason why he said don't jump in the portal because you might not make it. You know what I'm saying? You might not make it out of the portal.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you a kid that said I was here just to play for Coach Prime, but you ain't got no film out there.
Yeah.
But also,
I mean,
he also said, Doc, that he will talk to individual players. So Prime will talk to the players, that he wants to get into the portal that he knows is going to take. So that's why he's so talking to individual players. He said it as a collective as far as don't jump into the portal as far as like that, because some players he knows that he doesn't want. You know what I mean? Let's speak facts of fact. So the players that he does want, he'll talk to them because he knows he'll offer them a scholarship. And like you said so eloquently before, it's not 65; they got 85 scholarships now. So they got more scholarships. But you made a phenomenal point. That travel distance, when you're a parent, when you can go 3 hours, when you have to go 3 hours for a drive, where you have to make arrangements for a flight, it's completely different.
Completely different, correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he has to think about a bigger picture too. He can only take, in my opinion, probably at the most 5 to 7 of Jackson State players. Players with some eligibility left, maybe 2 years.
Potential players who can play in the NFL.
Right, and then you can't just take players that you just can't just take whatever. You gotta be strategic, and it has to make sense, because first of all, you have to win. You got to start trying to win as soon as possible, but then also you have to you just got to start diversifying where you're gonna get these other players from. Whether it be the portal, whether it be you got JUCO signing day probably sometime this month. You got the national signing day in February. You still probably got these all-star high school games. So you probably want to go ahead and start offering them coming up. So you can only really take players that you really gotta, that you're gonna. Honestly, you gotta take the players that when they get to Colorado, they're gonna be playing. Day one. It ain't no backups, no second string. Is going to be you're gonna be a starter. Gotta take them players. Everybody else gonna have to they're gonna have to stay at Jackson State or hit the portal. Hopefully they stay at Jackson State, and stay. I think they say that in the video with the team meeting, they want TC Taylor to be the coach. So, the backup quarterbacks, the backup receivers, hopefully some of them will stay around, because they'll dominate next year. I don't know if it'll be 11-0, but there'll still be some, but
they'll be
maybe
competitive. I don't know if they'll dominate.
Somewhat competitive, right? Correct. Because I think Alabama State gonna be running the SWAC.
The whole SWAC East is gonna be competitive. Like literally, you got to realize Jackson State still number 1 in the SWAC East. FAMU right behind them. Alabama State made some strides. Could have been a little bit. They could have had a better record if it wasn't for some close games that they lost. But you know what I'm saying? They biting at the bit. And then we don't know how Alabama A&M is going to be.
Right. The hottest thing right now in the SWAC is probably low key is probably Grambling, only because of Hugh. So he can probably make some happen out in Grambling, but like you said, it is competitive. It's highly competitive.
But we can't say that Jackson State, because you know what, in football it all revolves around your QB, and so until Jackson State will find out who the quarterback will be, Shador obviously going to transfer. That's what our belief will be, because when the press conference the other day, and Deion said to the guy, "Are you a parent?" And so that was the indicator there. And just like Doc said, he's going to follow his father. I don't think Charlotte. If Charlotte don't graduate, Charlotte ain't going.
No.
But beside that, JSU, I think the team to beat next year is Musa's coming back in FAMU, or is he done?
Yep, Mama Musa already said that he coming back. Yeah, she already said. She told us we had a Twitter space of HBCU Nightly. She already said that he was coming back.
So FAMU's going to be the team to beat next. Where as of today, right now, with this with Prime leaving, FAMU's the team to beat in the East.
Mm-hmm.
What about? I got a question. What do you think as far as Colorado? What do you think about the homegrown talent in Colorado? I don't really know Colorado that much.
Yeah,
he got another lay of the land though.
Valor
Christian. That's where the McCaffreys came from. Go watch them. They can play some ball up there.
Yeah, but McCaffrey's because the father played pro ball, so they were there in the school. You know what I mean?
Nah,
It's just like
he was the
it's
head.
just
He's
like
the head
LeBron.
coach too.
Just like LeBron's kids playing in L.A. You know, the school's going to be good. So basically, in Colorado, you're going to get maybe good offensive linemen. You know, get some big old boys as far as that guy, which you need.
You
But
have
the
to
talent's got to come from, like you said, Doc, California. You know what I mean, and that part of the country. But the thing is, Prime always was able to pull players from Florida. That's the key. Can he still have that pull from Florida to Colorado? That's going to be the key. Where can he pull from?
He got pull out in Texas too, especially that Dallas area. So
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
definitely.
That's going to be the
He
key.
got Dallas. He's
That's
in the
going to
Dallas
be a
area
key.
locked
Can
up.
he pull from there?
Yeah,
Can he pull from there?
Yeah, he definitely pulled some beef out of Texas for sure.
Yeah, and Colorado
Yeah,
Colorado does have some skilled players. I mean, I know quite a few people who still live there. I've talked to them. We started talking yesterday about this, and we're heavily into from Little League on up to high school. Who are and there's some skilled guys, running backs, a lot of DBs.
And Nevada too. Got great football.
Nevada with Gorman. So there's talent.
Yeah, forgot about
Boy,
that.
But you see,
but my
the
boy
only
Lowe
thing,
said, "Hey, my boy Lowe said, as far as the roster for Colorado, there's a lot of freshmen and sophomores on this squad. He said it's only 17 seniors that get ready to graduate."
but the thing is going to be for the interim is how much stigmatism of him leaving JSU will help him or hurt him.
Let me ask you this: you hear a lot based upon, especially those of us who have been at HBCUs or who are from HBCU territory. The West Coast is a totally different mindset. You know, so the thing is, he has an opportunity. He's not going to face as much, fight from, say, us as a collective, as Black people who've gone to HBCUs, compared to being on the West Coast, where it's not as big per se. You know, the culture is not out there. So they're not going to have that anti. They're going to see Prime. That's what they're going to see. And my son has a chance to go play at a Big 5 school with Prime.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you're right.
You know, and that's just me living out there. When
I'm about to shut this stream down.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Nah, I say I'm getting ready to shut this stream down. I've been up since like 8 something this morning, y'all.
Yeah, no worries.
And my boy is tired. But man, we gonna continue this on Tuesday night. Man, I want to continue this on Tuesday night. If anybody want to be y'all available for Tuesday night, we could talk about well, my whole thing is we can talk about the backlash, and then we can talk about how many schools, what schools, the review of all the schools and what they need. If you down with it, JD, you come on.
Yeah,
come
I'm
back
gonna
on
follow
here,
the
man.
channel. I'm gonna follow the channel, man, and I'm gonna be with you on Tuesday.
I want to thank you, brothers, I want to thank you, brothers, and I want to thank you, Doc, especially for the fine content and great conversation that we're having tonight. The bottom line, I think we're all in agreement that we always want to see HBCUs do well, do our culture to do well. And you know what? And we'll see what happens with Coach Prime. We want him to do well. We have no animus or hatred toward him. We're just speaking facts. And myself, I can speak for myself, a little bit of emotion because I was following JSU. But the thing is, I'll still follow JSU. And you know what? I hope everybody does well. I always hope for the best for everybody.
No doubt.
Man, look, I'm always gonna be JSU. That's my alma mater. I'm always gonna be about repping Jackson State, and I'm always gonna be about being there for all HBCU. That's what this show is all about. It ain't about Jackson State Overdrive. It's about HBCU Overdrive. That's the name of the show. That's the reason why I named it that show. But yeah, man, like I had a good time. And like I said, it might be a somber moment, but right now, man, look, hell, we we on cloud nine because of some fact we are 12-0 for the first time in school history. We won back-to-back SWAC championships. We're going to the Celebration Bowl. We are kicking our feet up, and I ain't saying we're gonna be relaxing, but we're gonna go back into the lab and try to get this Black National Championship.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you for letting me on. I'm a HBCU advocate. You know, like I said, my school's NCCU, St. Aug. So man, I'm just like I said, as an HBCU fan, I was following Jackson State closely because I really thought that by prom coming, the HBCU was going to change the culture again, shift the culture, and it's a bittersweet moment. It's a little bit of a letdown, but a lot of good come from this, and hopefully HBCUs continue to get the recognition that it deserves. Man, I'm just tired of the hatred and the negative stigmatism that it comes with, because it's nothing like HBCU. I also attended the PWI at UNC Charlotte, and it's nothing. And what you get at a HBCU and what you get at a PWI is night and day. So man, night and day. But I appreciate you for letting me on, man. I'm gonna follow the channel. I'll see you on Tuesday.
All right, man. Thank you, man.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Oh yeah, man. It was a good night. Like I said, good night tonight, man. Good thing these brothers joined the chat. You got anything to say, BK, before you roll out?
No, I just appreciate it. Again, I'm a MEAC guy, so I will be at the Celebration Bowl, to represent the MEAC. So I don't know if you're going to be there, but it'd be a good opportunity to connect, and definitely an advocate for all HBCU, especially with me living in SWAC territory, living in Houston. So definitely, I wish Prime could have stayed, but I understand. And now it's just time for us to come together and kind of see how we can, step in and do what we can as leaders, and HBCU grads and those who are affiliated with HBCUs, how we can take it to the next level based upon, the foundation that, Prime has laid, coming in, with his celebrity per se.
All right, man. Thank you, man. Thank you for rocking with me, man.
No, absolutely. I appreciate it. And definitely I'll follow the channel. I just found the channel just looking at YouTube today myself. So definitely great conversation.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. But man, look, contest for the subscriber sweepstakes. Like I said, it started on December the 1st. So man, I'm gonna put the rules back up in. I'm gonna put the rules in here for everybody to see. Hold on. Trying to get this all squared away. But yeah, man, it was good for the guys, for people to come in and voice their opinion, even if I know I wouldn't agree with it, but it was good, for them to voice their opinion. So I can't be mad about that. It was good for them to rock with me. You know what I'm saying? Having over 600 people in on the stream, that was a good thing for the show, man. If you haven't done it by now, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Become a member of the hottest HBCU podcast that's on YouTube right now. Make sure you like the stream and share this stream with all your friends and family. Okay, man. I'm about to show y'all these rules as far as what's the subscriber sweepstakes is, man. So whenever it wants to load up. Yeah, whenever it wants to load up. But there we go. There we go. Ah, crap. You don't want to come up. And I thought I had it as a slide. But yeah, all the moderators, man, thank y'all for coming on and rocking with me. Rocking with the show. It was a good thing y'all was here. It's not gonna load up. But anyway, if you get 5 subscribers, all you have to do just put your name in, send it into my email, holiday1925@gmail.com. I will be checking. Make sure that all 5 of the people that you bring to the plate subscribe to the channel, okay? But and the drawing will be done on January 3rd of 2023, y'all. But like I said, it was good that it was good while it lasted. I can't say anything bad about it because he did turn our program from nothing into something again. So that's all we can say, man. That's all we can, we hang my hat on to it. But I'm your boy Doc Holliday. This is another HBCU Overdrive Live post-game show where HBCUs matter. If you haven't done it by now, remember, like I said, remember to subscribe, hit that like button, and hit that notification bell to get everything HBCU Overdrive. And in the meantime, between time, y'all already know what I say. Y'all be blessed. Y'all stay safe. And y'all stay dangerous. I'm out of here. Peace.